I got run to keep from hiding. I'm bound to keep on riding. And I got one more silver dollar. And I ain't gonna let them catch me, no. I ain't gonna let them catch the midnight rider.
Fans, and welcome back to a very special edition of Davey Mac's Tales from the Satellite. I'm your host, Bobby Cambaro, and joining me as always is the star and the reason why we're all here, Eastside Dave McDonald.
Thank you so much, Robert. You're making me sound like God, and I appreciate that. This is edition number 13, episode 13 of Davey Mac's Tales from the Satellite, and I believe this is the best retrospective podcast going today. I was hoping for you to, join along like a Ron Fez type of deal.
Honestly, Dave, I was waiting for typically when we say we're the best at something, there are a lot of stipulations along the way. Yeah. I was waiting for several qualifiers.
I mean,
but honestly,
those were more qualifiers than most people get. But we are
significantly
the best
less than
retrospective podcast going today. But in all honesty, rave reviews, that was good. Rave reviews cannot thank the Patreon audience enough for supporting us. By the way, we are introducing a new spin-off show for the $5 tier. It's going to be very raw because I'm not going to have Robert, be working and working and working. The guy's he's a stand-up comedian. He's got gigs to do. He's got things to do. So I'm just going to load it very raw myself, but it should be fun. It's called Tales from the Q&A.
You heard it here first, folks. Tales from the Q&A.
And
officially the first inter-Patreon war. Tales from the Satellite's going after Q&A.
Wait, so we're going to have... So Tales from the Satellite is going to have a radio war with Tales from the Q&A?
Yes, exactly.
Tales from the Q&A is going to be my show.
It's going to be really weird when we get to the, fucking the other guy's wife era, because you're just going to be fucking your own girlfriend.
But that's what Tales from the Q&A I will be doing, and what I'm going to be asking you to do is email me any question that you want at DaveyMacShows@gmail.com. That is Davey Mac Shows, DAVEYMACSSHOWS @gmail.com. And that's what it's going to be. It's going to be built off the emails. It's going to be a Q&A, pure and simple. So the more emails you give me, the better shows will be.
I think we could foresee perhaps some emails coming from the Tales from the Satellite producer.
Yeah, by the way, Robert...
why does this new show suck so much?
Robert has been threatening me and been asking me multiple times, what's that email address again? I said, DaveyMacShows@gmail.com. Why have you asked me? Oh, never mind. I just have a few emails to write all of a sudden, Dave, man. Nothing related. I say, bullshit, Robert. Bullshit.
Not Bobby at uncancelablerecords.com sent you an email.
But we are really looking forward to this.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that'll be a really fun idea.
We're looking forward to the Q&A show. We're looking forward to it. And I mean,
we were talking about this on the phone that
yes.
Maybe if there's enough interest in a certain area of a topic we covered, we may have to go back and we could use that as a guide to see, hey, let's dive into this a little more.
Not only do I promise to try to answer all of your questions, or at least the best ones, but absolutely, if you come up with a really interesting talking point, I'm going to not only answer the question, talk a little bit on the Q&A show, but then send it over to Robert, Jared, and the Ron Fez Archivist and say, what do you think about this for a satellite episode? So you guys are going to be playing an important role in this. So again, patreon.com/EastsideDave. So that's that. This is Davey Mac's Tales from the Satellite. Now I'm excited.
A great episode. I said it before we started recording. I see you're drinking a little bit, which is good.
I have not had any beers on any Davey Mac's Tales from the Satellite episodes in at least 4 or 5 episodes, including my birthday episode. And listen, the Christmas decorations are out. It's a holiday season, dog. It's time for a glug glug because the Midnight Rider.
It is the Midnight Rider, yeah. And we were talking before the show. I'm actually a little. This is the most anxious I've been going into a topic.
You're nervous today. That's weird.
Not even nervous. Just I want to make sure we do this right because this is a story. This is why we're friends.
I can't promise I'm going to do it right, but hopefully on your end, because I'm going to have a drink ski. Oh, don't worry.
Oh, I was really banking on you, so we may be in trouble.
I will give you all the dirt that you need. I will give you all the memories that you want. But it's the holiday season. We've been working so much. Yeah. We've been putting out so much content. It's Friday. It's time to unwind just a little bit. But this episode is going to be epic. And we have said right off the bat, the Midnight Rider, there is a Midnight Rider saga on YouTube that's like 40 hours long.
Yeah, it's going to be a long one.
So we might split this up into a couple parts, this or that. So don't worry, don't fear. If we're not getting to like everything on this particular episode, don't have anxiety. We intend to cover it all, but it might be a few parts. Okay. All right, Robert.
Now we've got the business out of the way.
Now we got the business out of the way.
Let's sink our teeth into the story a little bit. I'll be honest, the Christmas lights and this topic are really doing it for me. I found the Midnight Rider saga when I reached out to you. I alluded to it. That it was truly the greatest radio bit. It inspired me to send you that email that you made the mistake of answering and allowing me to hang out with you and literally let me hear. But
hold on, little reminder for the Tales from the Satellite audience. You sent emails to a few people, right?
I did. Yes.
Yeah? And who responded to you?
You.
And who else did you send an email to?
I don't know if I want to trash these people, but Louis J. Gomez didn't respond.
And? Samuel Roberts.
Responded once, dicked me around, and rejected me. And then,
so he did respond.
He was like, show me what you got, and I didn't. He did not like what I had.
Wait a second. So he did. I didn't know that he responded.
This was when they were looking for a new producer on air. Theirs were fighting, and I was just trying to find anyone.
So he got back to you. He said, give me some examples of your work. You gave him some examples, and then he fucking ghosted you.
Yeah, it was yeah, it might have been more with what I brought to the table and less about Sam. But I also think, you could correct me if I'm wrong here, I feel like Sam picks interns and people he wants to mentor differently than you do, where you might look as like, this guy has potential or effort.
Funny. I go straight up funny.
Will I be able to bully this guy?
Oh, you think that's a hot take?
And I don't mean that in a bad way, but I think Sam looks at it like he likes to mentor people. If you look at Hot Dog and the people he's helped, they do well, but it has to be people who will listen to him. He doesn't like strong-willed, whereas kind of like you like to tame the wild bull or whatever.
Oh, I just like people to do their fucking jobs like you. You know,
I know. I've heard that call.
I'm not taming anything
that
wild.
Phone call at 3 o'clock in the morning. So just like people to do their jobs, Rob.
Yeah. I just want people to fucking do their goddamn jobs, you son of a bitch. But I don't look to bully people at all. I mean, we just did the Fast Freddy episode, the Chris Pepper Stanley episodes. I mean, I always chose interns that I thought would simply be fun for Ron and Fez, and then B, were fun to hang out with and stuff like that.
And I think that's kind of a philosophy Ron and Fez kind of adopted throughout. If you look at the treatment of Big A, like how he was treated on Ron and Fez versus Opie and Anthony.
Oh, we treated him like a star.
You made him the celebrity.
I mean, I wrote jokes for that. That's where I started writing shit for Andrew.
Absolutely.
Was on that show. He would, for some reason, he was always obsessed with Fez's nipple size and would say they're as big as teacup saucers.
I wonder what made him so obsessed with that.
I don't know why he would say that.
But what I was going to say is I found this saga when I was at like Dick's. Felt like my life was going nowhere, and it really pulled me out of a depression.
You were eating Dick's?
No, I worked at Dick's.
Dick's Sporting Goods.
Sporting Goods.
Well,
yeah.
I would include those other words when you say the word Dick's. I didn't know what he was talking about, folks. Did you?
I mean, it would be applicable if you knew who I worked with.
It's
either
applicable. The pronunciation of that word has changed.
You know what? Let's just get back to the subject. Because it's making me depressed. No, but it pulled me out of the funk. It really showed me even with nothing, like you didn't have anything with this bit. You weren't a great wrestler. You weren't a great but you just took what you had in front of you. It wasn't a well worked out bit.
Not a great
and you
wrestler.
Made it brilliant. At the time, no, you obviously learned throughout the years. But
True.
At this point, you were just kind of new to everything. You weren't even on Ron and Fez a year. You literally just showed you were funny and
Is that true?
Entertaining. Yeah, it was less than a year. But
no way.
Let's get into the subject.
It's shocking to me.
And it really gave me inspiration. Like, look at.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
And just as a another tangent before we delay this even longer is I was talking to Jared, an archivist, before the show, and they were like, "You seem a little distant, Bobby. Is everything okay?" And I was like, haven't felt alive in a while, but the last time I felt this way, the rider pulled me out, so I'm hoping it could do it again. And
we're going to do it, baby.
With the Christmas lights and this topic, I really feel it.
The rider is going to be there for you. And by the way,
unlike Jared, an archivist, who were like, "Okay, so we're still meeting at 6."
They bailed
Just
on
blew
you
right past
when
it.
Bobby was showing some vulnerability for a change, rather than being a cynical New York scumbag comedian, but showing vulnerability. They fucking bailed. That's hysterical to me. But that's happened to me before. In the year 2000, the Ron Fez Show helped me out when I was in just not a great place. And this is when they were on midnight to 3 a.m., which is a time I loved. I just loved when they were on. I don't know if it was getting replayed on that time or this or that, but there was a time where they were on like midnight to 3 a.m., and that was so much fun. And that's when Ron and Fez themselves pulled me out of a dark place, so I can understand what you're saying.
And what did you do when they pulled you out of that dark place?
I listened to Ron and Fez.
And you reached out and you wrote Ronnie a letter that you would be the best producer of all time.
Several years later.
But the point being, that's what inspired me to literally be like, "Oh, I'm in the same boat. This guy's doing this for me. That's why I sent you the letter."
Wow.
But that will probably come up in here during your concession speech. Yeah, that's truly and
unbelievable.
All I can hope is that I have a shred of the career you do.
Yeah.
So
I know you do. It's probably not going to happen. But you know.
We got to get into this story. It definitely couldn't. We're about to tell about the greatest radio bit that's literally turning over 15 years old that people still mention on a daily fucking basis. So, all kidding aside, this is pretty impressive what you laid down. But the year is 2007. It's January.
Wow.
There was a party the night before because, like all great stories, we can't just start at the beginning, which is the vote. We have to go back and see what set it up.
Okay.
So, it's the Monday after a party. There was a party Friday. A bunch of things were supposed to happen. The only one that did was you. You showed up and did what you were supposed to do at the party.
Boom.
Earl was a letdown. Master Poe was a letdown. He was supposed to beat you with a kendo stick or something.
Yep.
None of it happened except for you. And according to Ron, I wasn't at the party, but even you didn't deliver at the level you were supposed to.
This was the bachelor party, wasn't it?
For who? Paul?
For me.
No, because you were still with Westside.
Okay. Because I can't recall a party that Poe was going to beat me with the stick.
It may have been Poe was supposed to do something to Earl, but Poe was involved and decided not to.
Okay, I
Earl
remember
didn't
that.
do what he was supposed to. And Ron's hot. He's frustrated with everybody.
Sure.
But before we even get into this, we've done 13 episodes of these. 11 of them are January, right after vacation. Some major incident happens. Why?
Why?
What is the mindset coming in off the holiday break? Is everybody stressed?
It's nothing intentional, I can assure you that. I think it's the exact opposite. I think that people tended to get good rest, and maybe that's when an idea formulates. So I think people would take a vacation, have a few ideas percolate, and then come back and be ready to go. So that's probably why. It's the recharging of the battery scenario.
Okay, that was one thought we had. The other we had was like, you just go 2 weeks. If you're Earl and the job's stressing you out, you had 2 weeks of relaxation. You come back in, and now the stress is back on, and everybody's kind of at each other's throats. You and Earl are already not on good terms.
Well, we weren't going to be on good terms necessarily.
Yeah. No,
like vacation or no vacation.
Just all three of us, the producers, all went another one in January. It's just very funny.
That is
it seems
interesting.
like the major events, even the pizza smash, literally
was all January.
Started in January.
That's
the
really
bet
weird.
started in January. Yeah.
Well, my mom is born on January 1st.
Oh, she was a New Year's baby.
Yes, sir.
That explains a lot.
So, is it that interesting?
Yeah.
And then my brother was born on January 14th.
Okay. Also interesting, but maybe all the birthday parties stressed you out and you came in with ideas, or so much family Davey
I'm an
Mac
idea
love?
machine.
So much Davey Mac love, the best ideas filtered to the top.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just trying to find some way to relate that.
That kind of thing,
Okay.
you know.
But here we are. So you come in and you point out that you think the audience liked you. They take a bunch of calls.
I thought so.
2 people back you up. The rest are just trashing. But
2
again,
people backed me up. 2. What happened?
well, we don't know if it was really 2 or if that's how the phone screeners went. You know what I mean? You don't know what you're up against here. So you go to a break very upset with Earl. You and Earl are arguing. I guess you're frustrated. During the break, Earl comes over to you and goes, Dave, it's going to be all right. You're going to be here for a while. Just breathe, calm down. I got your back. We're going to get through this.
Be here for a while. The hell does that mean?
Like, as in, relax. Don't do anything. Don't lose your head and get yourself into trouble.
Oh, just, get fired?
Take a breath. Do something.
Okay.
So you come back from break. Ron goes, Dave, the audience hated what you did. You go, no, they didn't. He goes, you've given up all your bits. And you go, what do you mean? He goes, the puppets you used to do. And you go, somebody stole my puppet.
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing. Fucking Hosp ruined the goddamn Roberto the Puppet bit by fucking stealing Roberto the Puppet for months on end, not giving him back, and then saying, I never paid anything off when he's the fucking douchebag who didn't even have a payoff to kidnapping my goddamn puppet Roberto. So what am I supposed to do in that scenario?
No, can't do anything there.
All right. Innocent then of that charge.
The Friday of the party, your brother got you a kilt for Christmas, so you wore it, and Ron said from now on you're going to be kilt boy.
Okay, let me explain. I was wearing the kilt every single day. What month is this, Robert?
January.
I was wearing it in December. I was wearing it in January. I was sick. Legitimately, I started getting a fucking just flu, and I didn't fucking, call out of work the way Earl Douglas would have.
No,
I was really, really sick, and it was because I was wearing a kilt in the middle of winter in New York City. Not just the cold weather, but the wind. It's got the Marilyn Monroe thing that I had to worry about, where the subway grates and the kilt, and I had to do that type of move. Hi, boys. Like that was the type of thing. So I was really sick. I couldn't wear the kilt because I was deathly ill.
I get it. When it's really cold in New England, Tom Brady, when he's sick, doesn't wear the Patriots jersey. Sometimes you don't have to wear your work uniform.
I'm just kidding. My kilt, the legs were exposed. I was going to die.
The specific thing you were pointing out that day was that there was a hail, ice, rainstorm, and that you didn't want to. And then at that point, Ron kind of gives you a pass, but Fez delivers one of my favorite lines, which goes, "It's never rainy or cold in Scotland."
But nor is it 30 degrees.
He hits you with that, and then Ron goes, wait, I don't know, is it? Are you being sarcastic, Fez?
I've been to Scotland.
And Fez freezes.
Okay.
Because he doesn't know if Ron's asking him seriously if he doesn't know about the weather of Scotland or not.
All right, but I've been to Ireland and Scotland. It doesn't get cold in the wintertime the way it does over here. It stays 50 degrees pretty much 365 days a year in the UK and Ireland and Scotland, shit like that. So in other words, you don't get the real nice weather of America, but you don't get the real dog shit New York City fucking cold, windy winters either. And that's the truth.
That makes sense. And you felt that strongly about the kilt. So you could see how
I fucking still have the kilt.
No, I mean about you shouldn't be blamed for not wearing that kilt one day because you were sick. It's that cold. You felt that strongly. So the first two you kind of gave yourself a pass on. The third one, Ron goes, and you stopped making board gossip good. And that's kind of where you get set off a little bit.
Well, that was bullshit. What happened was board gossip's one of the greatest segments of all time. I'm not saying what Ron says is BS, but what I'm saying is board gossip was one of the greatest segments ever. And it was a classic example of the segment was so over that then it was, well, maybe we should do it twice a week. And Tuesdays and Fridays. And I knew that was a mistake.
It's too much.
Because it's just too much. It's a great bit, but it's a great weekly bit. That's where it is great. Once it happened the 2 days, it's like wrestling, man. All you need is Raw. You don't need SmackDown. And so once it was twice a week, I knew it was going to be oversaturated. I fucking knew it, and then it kind of was. It was like, this isn't, and it was still funny, but it was just on too much.
Yeah, and obviously you can't say that it's on too much on air. That can't be your defense of the bit. So you back down. You go, no, it's great. People love it. And
yeah, I can't point out that. We should go back to only Fridays.
So Ron goes, okay, we'll give you a shot Friday. We'll put it up. Who do you want to decide? Do you want Earl to decide? And you flip.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm perfectly fine.
You're supposed to be in charge of this guy. Yes, and I'll make the decision if you want me to. I will definitely make that decision.
Are you comfortable with that, Dave?
No, I'm not comfortable with that at all. That big black traitor with the fucking knife in my back since day fucking one. If we're gonna get fucking serious here, I'll fucking do whatever, 20 callers. And I'll let 20 callers do it. And if they say for me to walk out, I'll fucking put on my Converse shoes and walk out.
That's up to you.
I'll do it.
I mean, you're picking.
I'll do it. I'd rather have. And I'm talking honest callers here.
Of course.
Okay. You will get whacked back, you moron. This is your lack of street smarts. This goes to show how stupid you are.
Have you not heard the calls about you today?
Yeah, there was one or two that liked me.
So it'll be 18-2.
I'm hoping not. I'm hoping the Dave supporters understand Friday's a big day as well. They are out there, and they have numbers. They just don't post and make big scenes of themselves like the Whack Bag crew.
It's like they almost have no presence whatsoever.
Well, they're a more laid-back bunch. They're not on the computer all the time.
It doesn't even make sense what you're saying. I don't give a shit, Dave. You want to put yourself up for that? That's fine. It'll give you some kind of respect as you go.
All right, then I'm doing it.
As you head out.
Yeah, I'll do it that way. Because I don't trust Earl. I would trust Fez. I would definitely trust Fez. But I don't trust Earl.
Would you trust me?
Yes.
Shows how stupid you are. Because I'll tell you right now,
yeah.
I'd fucking clip you, Davy Pants.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. You know why?
Why?
You let me down. You let me down. You didn't show up. Choked when it was time for you to turn it on. Blamed it on whatever, your fucking head cold. Hold on, we got a call from the future right now. It's Chris. Chris from the future, what can we do for you?
Yeah, I'm calling from next week.
Yeah.
Eastside who?
Yeah, thank you.
Dave, that's the number. That's the name you're going to have to remember, pal. I'm going to be fucking sitting in this chair come Tuesday, next week.
What's that, Monday?
I mean, a week, if I was to leave, it would be Friday, so I wouldn't be here Monday or Tuesday. So I'm sitting there.
What's he talking about?
I have no idea. Why did you skip ahead?
I won't be here next Tuesday if I have to leave on Friday. Obviously, then I wouldn't be here next Tuesday.
And Ron asked, what happened to Monday?
Well, it's not a week from today is Tuesday, no? It's a week from today is not Monday. See, this is the thing. We're having some weird problem where no one gets me anymore. I made totally fucking perfect sense right there.
No, you don't. Seriously.
I said a week from...
You know what it is? You spread too thin. You fucking spread yourself too thin.
It's so thin, it's now down to a 6-day week.
Earl, if you had to pick right now, today, I want you to be honest. Whether you would keep Dave or send him out, what would you say? Based on what you've heard.
I would have to say out.
And that's why the thing about him as a producer that I respect, he puts the show first above his own personal feelings, which we know you love, Dave.
Yeah, that's what he does. That's what he does best. Or you could say he echoes whatever fucking Ron just said very well. Because Ron just said I'd be out, so Earl says I'm out.
That would be mimicking.
If Ron had said I would be in, then fucking Earl would say, you're fucking lying.
How do you figure, Dave?
How do I figure? Because he's going to mimic whatever you say.
Earl's known as a guy who has his own opinion.
He's got no fucking backbone as much as a fucking jellyfish.
What?
He has a backbone like that of a fucking red jellyfish.
Dave,
or a black jellyfish. A black one. Because that's what you are.
Dave, you need to calm down.
You do need to calm down.
Calm me down.
And not come out with racism.
I'm just telling you to calm down.
You're the one who lied.
Please
you said there was no Monday in the week.
Yeah.
What are you going to do, Earl?
Dave.
If I don't calm down.
Dave, just calm down.
What's wrong, Dave?
I'm
fine.
Like
you're spread a little too thin between the two shows.
I'm fucking... You can spread butter thin, and it still fucking tastes good on toast.
Huh?
That's just like me, baby. That's just like me.
Well, you need enough butter to cover the toast, though. It can't be too thin.
Yeah.
No, extra butter, just like me.
Yeah.
You go, no, I don't want Earl to side. That cocksucker never has my back. I'm leaving out some of the language you used, but
well, you're allowed to say it here.
Certain characteristics of Earl you described that maybe how he dressed, but out of context, people might assume were other characteristics you were describing about Black Earl.
Well, he always wore black. He wears black clothing. That is why he's called Black Earl. It's because no one's seen him in a yellow shirt a blue shirt, a green fucking shirt. No one. It's always black clothing.
I know that. Ron and Fez knew that. But when you got angry and you were fired up that day, you kept going like that big black piece of shit, and it sounded like you were calling him that.
It does. It
was just you were looking up in anger. Even Earl didn't take it that way.
He also does happen to be an African American, so the confusion.
Yeah, you see where that might be.
It's understandable.
But you freak out, and then Earl does the thing that chicks do whenever a guy's actually frustrated. That just makes it even worse, which is, Dave, calm down, Dave. Just take a breath, Dave. Calm down, Dave. You seem stressed out,
I'm actually
Dave.
getting a little fired up just hearing you say it because I know that tone that he does.
Come on,
I know that.
Dave, just relax now, Dave. Dave, just calm down. Calm down, Dave.
It's your dead grandmother here. No, wait, hold on.
Well, that'll come later.
That'll come later. But that son of a... But he has that tone.
But it was that tone, and then you go, you just stabbed me in the back. During the break, you're going, stay here. And then Ron goes, if it was up to you, Earl, would you keep Dave? And he goes, no, I'd get rid of Dave. And that's when you just go nuts. You're like, you backstabbing piece of shit. You yell at him. And as he's telling you to calm down, Ron goes, maybe 2 shows a week or 2 shows a day is too much for you, Dave. Seems like you've been really stressed out since we've gone to 2 shows a day.
Because we were on satellite radio in 92.3 K-Rock.
And then you had the longest walk over ever, and you were on FM. No, yeah, exactly. And
those were challenging, but also awesome days.
Honestly, Dave, I am so jealous of the experience. When
we were on noon to 3 with Ron on Sirius XM, and then 6 to 9 on 92.3 K-Rock, one of the biggest stations in New York City history. And by the way, we killed it on K-Rock. We were the #1 English-speaking show. There was exactly one show that beat us, and it was on the Spanish channel. But what that means is, in New York City, we beat WFAN, the #1 sports channel. We beat 710, 770 News, 1010 wins. I mean, we beat them all.
Yeah.
On 92.3 K-Rock.
Truly the golden age.
Did you ever hear those, though? Because you were in Pennsylvania, so I wouldn't imagine you heard that show.
That's the beauty of these archives, is that people love the show that much that you can find the FM. There are some of the FM shows in this that we're listening to as well. Yeah, it's really cool. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's amazing what the fandom did to preserve this.
I'm happy to hear that.
But from that, so Earl's freaking out. They mentioned the 2-show possibility. You point out that Earl's stabbing you in the back because just 5 minutes ago.
By the way, we got 2 paychecks. We got one from Sirius XM and one from 92.3 K-Rock. Wow. And that was the one time working for Sirius XM, working for the satellite, that I made money. Because 92.3 K-Rock gave me what Sirius XM gave me.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, 92.3 K-Rock, without knowing me at all, just paid me a little bit like a human being. And we're like, oh, you're fucking awesome. And they might have even paid me more than what Sirius XM paid me.
Well, and that's disgusting.
Disgusting.
Because if you think about truly just the numbers listening, but when you think about it, you guys were the #1 show in the market.
Yeah. But that was awesome.
A lot easier to prove.
2 salaries. I was like, I don't fucking care that this is like, seriously.
Which is crazy, because I produced 4 of your shows that make 0 salary.
But it sort of... it sort of made you like lose your mind a little bit, but it was also fun at the same time. Because seriously, when you're doing 2 shows, they were fresh shows. The difference between what we were doing in O&A is that O&A were simulcasting their morning show on Sirius XM and 92.3 K-Rock. We were doing a Sirius XM show from noon to 3, and then a 92.3 K-Rock only show from 6 to 9 p.m. That was incredible. I mean, you're talking 2 specific, separate programs.
Distinct shows, and there was not a lot of, other than like when a major bit like this was going on.
But it did play tricks with your mind, too.
It did, and I think
because you wouldn't be sure sometimes what happened where.
Yep.
Did I get into a fight with this guy on 92.3 K-Rock or on Sirius XM?
Yeah, I have to be worried he's going to show up at my apartment, or is it some hick from New Zealand,
The weird thing is, it was right down the street. So 92.3 K-Rock is on 57th. And it was on the other side of 6th Avenue.
Okay.
And at that point, the XM studio was on 57th, but between 7th and 8th. So we literally only had to walk like 1 block, one to 2 blocks.
Makes sense. I don't think it's moved that far.
Yeah, well, Sirius XM now is on 49th.
Oh.
Sirius was on 49th. The
So this was the
XM
XM.
office.
I got
this
you.
was
Yeah,
the
yeah,
old
yeah.
school XM office with
Makes sense.
Buddy and all those guys.
But we may be getting bogged down and do a little too much here.
I'm
No
just
worries.
giving details. That's what it's all about.
Absolutely. So you and Earl have a fight. You argue. At this point, Master Poe comes in and goes, like, I'm not going to let you get to Earl because you're that frustrated in Poe's eyes. Now, Poe always seems to be looking for a way to insert himself into the radio.
Specifically with me, with bits that had to do with moi. And it was like, why is this fucking guy here? Why is this karate man constantly in my shit? Can he get lost? Every time I was doing something with O&A and Ron and Fez, when she would get a little bit excitable, here comes Poe, because he thinks, what? I'm going to fucking decapitate people live on the radio?
No, exactly. But
it was way too much.
It even took Ron a couple minutes to figure out the bit with Poe. Like, he doesn't address Poe being there for a minute or two, and then when he brings it up, it still takes him a minute to figure out, like, how we're going to use this idiot who came in for no reason.
Exactly. No one knows why he's there.
And finally he goes, Dave, I bet you can't get to Earl with Poe there. And you go, I'll give it a shot, and the first attempt doesn't work. Second attempt doesn't work. It ends with him choking you. My favorite attempt is they're talking a little bit, and you look up at the TV and go, oh, did the Taliban attack? And then you try, and Poe just slams you right away.
Fuck, motherfucker.
That's kind of the end of it. And
It's
then
bullshit.
a caller,
The guy's a karate expert. He's a martial arts expert.
Here's the thing, and I want to ask about this because Poe comes back a little bit more.
The only Poe I like is Edgar Allan, baby. Quote
Nevermore.
the Raven, nevermore.
Nevermore. So Poe keeps choking you out. A caller calls in and goes, you know, why don't we put this up to a vote? You come up with the idea of there will be 20 callers, so if first to 11, keep or go. And that kind of gets agreed upon. Poe's gets pointed out. You keep trying to get past him. Now, here's my question about Master Poe. It feels like you have to let him win sometimes. Like, I know this guy's a karate expert.
Yeah.
But Dave, you're an athlete. Like, I feel like if you really wanted to get to Earl,
he was a legit karate expert, and he was also 6'4",
an expert in bullshido. He does that shit with energies and stuff,
Yeah.
and then he had to shut down a gym because of things with women. So he may not have been the best.
I didn't know
karate
about
expert.
that.
Yeah.
Well,
But,
see, there you go. Then the Dave man was vindicated yet again. Dave wins again. Dave wins again. Dave wins again. But no, with Poe's funny. Poe's job was very simple. Work the fucking door. You buzz in.
Yeah.
You press the buzzer. He sees you on the screen. He fucking buzzes you. He sits at a desk and he buzzes you in. There was never a reason for him to be back towards where the studio was, let alone in the studio. And he was always karate chopping me or kicking me in the goddamn chest. But I will say, he knew a little bit about karate. He did.
Okay.
I'm an athlete, but I don't know fucking MMA. I'm a basketball, baseball, football guy.
Yeah, here's my point, though. Like, we have a security guard who works with one of the comedians I work with who's a karate expert. One time I pulled into his sheets to watch him get dropped by a sucker punch. Like, he was arguing with somebody and the guy sucker punch. Like, I feel like sometimes people are really good at karate, but it's only when the other guys are playing by the rules of karate. Like, for instance, if you had scissors in your sock, you could stab Poe a couple of times and get through to Earl if you really want. Like,
Absolutely.
I don't think in a street fight he was this tough guy he thought he was. I think it was just...
Oh, no.
Like, you have to play by certain... I would get...
Probably not. Poe was good at...
The third time Poe choked me, Dave,
listen.
I'd punch him in the jaw.
Listen.
That's
Dude,
a compliment
all right,
to
but
you.
let me comment here because I had an interaction with the man. Poe was good at showing his karate expertise on radio producers. Poe could definitely probably beat up most of the radio producers that were there from O&A and Ron and Fez. If you put Poe in the fucking octagon with goddamn Randy Couture, Poe would have been dead in 8 seconds. You know, yes, I agree with you. He wasn't like fucking Bruce Lee. It was that he learned karate. He was legitimately 6'4", about 240 of muscle. The guy was in great shape. So he was a big, strong, in-shape guy who knew karate, but you're right.
Yeah. My point was, you said he could handle most producers. This was pre-Chris Stanley. A blacked out Chris Stanley.
Pre-Chris Stanley?
A blacked
Wait,
Pepper,
you're fucking
I
kissing
would like my
Pepper's
odds.
ass.
I'm just saying, Pepper's a big, strong man.
Pepper would have fucking got destroyed by Master Poe. I could probably take out Pepper. What are you, fucking nuts?
I just was trying to be complimentary to everybody, you know?
Oh, yeah. You know what? Chris Pepper Stanley could definitely...
We heard it. You could beat up Chris Pepper Stanley.
I was jealous for a second because you said I could get beaten up, and all of a sudden Chris Pepper Stanley is going to be beating up Poe.
I said you couldn't. I said you were an athlete, and you could have kicked Poe's ass if you really wanted to.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
I just don't think Poe was that great.
You did say that. No, he was. I got to give him, okay, like, we got to be real. 6'4", 250 of muscle, in fantastic shape, and he knows karate. He's going to beat up most radio people. But yes, tough guys on the street. Poe might have gotten his ass kicked. Sure.
Yeah, okay. We're on the same page then. So the bet's kind of settled. You're going to take calls. Now, at one point, you ask Ron. Ron asks, who do you want to decide? Do you want Earl? And you go, no, that he stabbed me in the back. He always agrees with you. Ron.
That's true.
Says, do you
Has
trust?
he ever disagreed with Ron?
Well,
ever on the air?
It actually comes up
All right,
in this episode, believe it or not.
I won't skip ahead. Go ahead.
No.
Continue.
It's a question we have in there for a reason. But,
continue.
So Ron goes, well, would you trust the callers? And you go, yeah, I trust the callers. He goes, you idiot. You just listen. They called in 18. It would have been 18-2, Dave, if we did it today. You would have lost 18-2. And he goes, would you trust Fez? And Fez says something about a big bag of shit that you referenced earlier to him. Or Fez called you a big bag of shit.
Yeah.
I forget which, but big bag of shit swung over his head was the beautiful description. And then Ron goes, would you trust me? And you go, of course I trust you, Mr. B. And Ron goes, that's how I know you're stupid, because I'd cut you right now, Dave, man. I'd get rid of you. And then he goes, how about you, Earl? Would you get rid of Dave? And Earl goes, yeah. And see, Ron goes, that's what I like about Earl.
All right.
He's a real producer. He's always putting the shows first. You know he loves you, Dave,
Yeah,
personally.
yeah.
And you go, yeah, does he love the show? Or is it just, once again, Earl Douglas mimicking exactly what Ron says? Earl the parrot. And it's pointing out exactly what he says. He's agreeing with Ron. It gets agreed upon.
All right.
Show ends for the day.
Good.
We come back the next day. There's some talking about it going on.
Talk to me.
At one point, Ron tries to break... I was just checking my notes. At one point, Ron tries to break down the disagreement between you and Earl.
Yes.
You explain where you're coming from. At one point, you say, well, then we won't ring the Liberty Bell of friendship, because the Liberty Bell stands for friendship. And I just want to know, do you know what the Liberty Bell actually stands for?
This is your question? I just waited 3.5 minutes. How about we cut down on the fucking setup? Holy shit. 3.5 minutes, and I waited for the. Do you know what the Liberty Bell stands for? Okay.
You know what, Dave? You're right. Poe would kick your ass.
No. I love what you're doing. These recaps, Jesus Christ. Okay. What is the Liberty Bell? The Liberty Bell stands for. No, it doesn't stand for friendship. It stands for brotherhood. Brotherhood.
It stands for liberty. That's why it's called the Liberty fucking Bell, Dave.
I thought it was brotherly love.
Liberty. It's called the Liberty Bell. They rang it to symbolize the liberty of America. And
what did I say?
Friendship.
So I'm 0 for 2. Fucking 16 years apart.
I feel better about that 3-minute setup now.
I
There's
know,
at least a
but
payoff.
like fucking get to a question every once in a while.
The choking begins.
Yes, sir.
Before choking can happen, they're talking about a marriage, and they go, somebody who knows about marriage is Jay Moore. Jay Moore is on the line, and Jay Moore comes up to be on the show. Now, this is the Thursday before you are to put yourself up for a vote.
Okay.
So Jay Moore arrives. Before we even get into you and Jay, Earl's being choked by Master Poe for some reason again. He's inserted himself into the show.
Yeah, okay.
And Jay Moore at least comes up with the funny idea that Earl will say something like, I'm Special Delivery Jones, and I'm undefeated, and then he gets choked out.
I thought somebody was coming to get me.
Yeah.
Paul, you look fucking sharp. Why don't you just fucking choke out Earl and put us out of our radio misery?
Here's the thing. Poe's new thing is looking like Steve McQueen, 67. Is where he's going with this.
Want me to choke you out?
Yeah, try it, Earl.
Try it, Earl.
I don't think you can do it, Earl.
Go ahead.
You ready?
Real quick.
Sit down.
Cut off his oxygen, but not enough to kill
Jim
him.
Jones, you fucking people.
Yeah, I know.
I can't believe.
Yeah, you tap.
Yeah.
You're
tap over here.
Yeah.
You're JYD.
You don't
and
tap. I'll continue.
Earl, don't tap yet. You're all right, Earl.
Scott, see how long you got?
Oh, yeah, there it is. Earl, you look like S.D. Jones. There you go.
Night, night.
Are you on the cover of Exile on Main Street, Earl?
Oh, what happened? S.D. Jones is on that cover? That would be fucking exciting. the guy with the eyes bugging out. What happened, Earl? Did it feel good or bad?
Earl, are you back?
Earl, how's it feel? Pour it on his head.
How'd it go?
Oh, God.
You want another one?
The room was just like...
Yeah, give him another one, but this time, Earl, see if you can break your record.
The $1 million man, Master Poe.
Can you do it faster, Poe? Because that was kind of fucking excruciatingly long for us.
But here's the thing. Earl.
No, he's in it.
Where are you tapping?
Earl, you're going cross-eyed.
You got to remember where your tap spot is.
Up you go, Earl.
Earl, stand up. Now think of that enema now.
Yeah. Get him.
Think of that enema.
He'd love to be a big part of it.
Earl,
you're gonna be on YouTube.
Earl, think of that enema. Think of that shit enema going up your ass.
All right, ready? You ready, Earl? How you feeling? Scale 1 to 10. How you feeling?
Broken dick.
4.
Not good.
Okay.
I guess Poe doesn't have it.
No, he thinks he's golfing.
Oh.
All right.
He is a golfer.
Now, for YouTube, I want to yell, I'm Special Delivery Jones, so I can get out of any hold. All right? So they won't know. They'll fucking think on YouTube that it's some kind of an update and everybody will love it. All right?
You might get a little dizzy this time.
Yeah.
I'm Special Delivery Jones, and I can get out of any hole.
Oh.
Come on, Special D.
SD.
SD. He's not sleeping. He's faking it.
Earl, you got to go longer than that.
No, Special Delivery. I will say this. He's out of it.
Yeah.
He got out of it.
Yeah, he did get out just by tapping.
That seems like cheating.
That's his reversing role. He taps.
You don't want him to get out?
Speaking of tapping.
No.
My feet are fine.
Yeah, he's tapping away over there.
Don't get fresh with me.
What happened, SD? You want to oil up your head? That way you can get out of every fucking time that they do it?
There's a rush of hair going through my windpipe.
A rush of hair?
Air.
That was Patty's pubes again.
Why do you guys agree to be choked out? I never met a weirder group of fucking people in my life. Like, you guys have the job.
Yeah.
And then what happens to... What?
He loves it.
Everybody's a temp, though, when they're with us.
What happened to Dave on Friday where everyone's going to vote?
He's going to get voted out and he'll be gone.
I thought you were against voting shows now. Now you are one.
Oh, yeah. I never thought of that.
What the fuck happened to you?
Yeah, I don't know. I changed, didn't it? It's awful. SD, let's do it, okay?
Drink some water.
Pour the water on your head, Earl, so it looks like you've been doing this for a while.
Get him a fucking parrot. He'll be Coco Beware.
You want to do that? What was that parrot's name?
Frankie.
Oh, yeah, Frankie. There you go. Talk into the mic, Earl.
Which is worse?
Your last breath is my...
Master Poe's choke lock or Jay Moore's fart mic?
All right, let's go, SD.
Don't put me on YouTube. I didn't sign up for that.
Yeah, you didn't sign up.
Jeez, Fez.
And cut and back.
Say, look at me on Special Delivery, John.
Yeah, you got to do your Special Delivery, Jones.
I'm Special Delivery Jones, and I can get out of any hole.
He tapped.
Did you tap, Earl?
Did he tap or did his hand just collapse?
You know why I fucked it up? I said Earl. Let's do that again.
They go through several takes of that, and then you realize Earl's borderline blacking out, so you go in to take a beating as well.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where Jay Moore and you really engaged for the first time on air. What was your relationship like with him?
Jay Moore? I mean, he was fantastic. Jay Moore was a big-time Eastside Dave fan. And I say was because I've actually texted him once or twice in the past 5-10 years. I mean, honestly, not a lot. But I have Jay Moore's phone number on my phone. He recently got engaged to the owner of the LA Lakers, Jeannie Buss. And I was like, that is unbelievable. So I texted him, congratulations. I watched that Lakers-Celtics show. It was great. But as far as back then, Jay Moore, huge fan.
Okay.
Jay Moore told Ron Bennington that Eastside Dave has a Steve Martin and Adam Sandler in him. And Ron was Ron was like, "Are you serious? Are you drunk? Are you high? What?"
I mean, it was probably high. It was 2007.
He said he was not intoxicated or under the influence of any drugs or alcohol. He said, "I break down comedy. I break it down and repackage it in a unique way, a la Steve Martin and Adam Sandler."
Oh,
now,
you break it down.
Me?
I thought Jay was saying, like, this is what I do, Ronnie. I break down.
No, he said Davey Mac breaks down comedy and delivers it in a very unique way, a la Steve Martin or Adam Sandler. Now, I love both guys. Robin Williams, though, is my favorite. And so I do love the fuck out of Steve Martin. Who doesn't? You know, Adam Sandler too, but he does a lot of rom-coms. You know?
That's so funny because of the three, I think I see Sandler the most. Just in your versatility,
really?
You can be serious, you can be funny.
See, I don't like.
You've got the guitar and the songs. You're always good at singing.
Robin Williams, The Poet Society.
Robin Williams was not one of the two.
That's what I want to be. Hollywood.
I also want to be Robin Williams, but just when he's done jerking off.
Thank you, boys. Thank you. That was at the end of Dead Poet Society.
Oh, that was really good.
When Ethan Hawke was on the desk.
Nice. He turned around and was like, "Thank you, boys."
Thank you, boys.
Oh, gave me goosebumps, just like the movie.
Did you like that?
That was really good. How about Mrs. Doubtfire?
Thank you.
That one?
I actually don't think I ever saw it.
That was really you nailed it.
But I've seen the commercial.
Yeah.
I
want
Good morning, Vietnam. That's Good
now
Morning
you
Vietnam.
Just revealed where we start the show and end the show every time. What I've been ripping off.
But
I used to. I want to be like Robin Williams, just at the very end of his career, like when he's done jerking off, and then realizes he can't get up. That's my goal.
Jesus, Robin Williams is the best ever. But to answer your question, Jay Moore and I's relationship was excellent. We actually. Oh, here's a backstage story that you'll never ever hear. Jay Moore invited me to his stand-up set at the Count Basie Theater in Red Bank.
Okay. Now, did he also leave after that show in tears, disappear for 4 days, go on a bender, and then call in the Ron and Fez and beg for his job back?
Are you talking about Billy Staples,
yeah, 'cause he
the Orange
also
Ball
bombed at
failure?
Red Bank
No. Which, by the way, I was actually at that
both
show.
Of those,
yes. But this is Jay Moore at Count Basie. No, he killed it, sold it out, and he killed it. But it was cool. It was a celebrity moment for me. Whereas he invited me backstage before the show, hang out.
That's real cool.
Then he goes, turn around the corner. I want you to say hi to my friend. And his friend's name was Bert.
Yeah, of course.
It's the guy
Bert Kreischer. Yeah.
Bert Kreischer.
The machine.
This was me and my ex-wife at the time. We turn the corner. We walk into another dressing room. Stark naked.
Of course.
Not just no shirt. Well, of course. I know that his gimmick on stage is no shirt. He literally had nothing on, but he tucked his dick away a la Silence of the Lambs. I mean, my fucking ex-wife, a woman was there. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, what the fuck?
Where did you see this gentleman?
Red Bank, Count Basie, backstage.
What part of the theater?
No, this was backstage.
Yeah. What room?
The green room.
His dressing room, maybe?
Dressing room.
So there was a naked man in a dressing room.
No,
I'm just playing.
He was standing there.
That's a running thing that actually Jay would make Bert do stuff like that to prank people all the time.
Well, he was standing there totally nude with his dick tucked in. That was a fucking horrifying. So I can actually tell people I've seen Bert Kreischer totally exposed with no penis. I gotta tell you, it was as disturbing as a thing as I've ever seen. I mean, I'd rather watch, footage of turtles taking shits.
Is that disgusting?
I don't know.
I was just going to let you follow that up real quick. No, but that's actually a funny point.
So I like Jay Moore.
They were really good friends. They had a falling out over jokes and stuff.
Uh-oh.
I think they're good now, but it's interesting you say that because the first time we hear you interact with Jay Moore is he calls in to wish you a happy birthday on your birthday and say how big of a fan of you he is. That may have been when some of those compliments came out. And then
he knows who the man is.
We also see he called it into special delivery one time out of the blue and played a black guy and then it revealed till the very end that he was Jay Moore and how big of a fan he was of you again. So we see some genuineness.
Yeah, he called into special delivery with Sam and Dave on Saturday nights, for Christ's sakes. It's amazing.
Then when you're on air with him, like, boy, is it sadistic how he treats you, specifically this day. Like,
was this hot sauce day?
This ends up being the hot sauce day, but it starts with the choking, and he makes you be Bob Backlund, and you go, I'm Bob Backlund, I'm gonna fucking fight him. Ron goes, Bob didn't swear. Oh, I'm sorry. Then you do it kind of like a black guy. You go,
I didn't know who Bob Backlund
ain't ever been. And Ron goes, he's from Minnesota. So then you just very calmly, East Side Dave, go, I'm Bob Backlund, and I've never been defeated.
At that point, my wrestling knowledge really started in 1984. At that point, the Hulkster had beaten Iron Sheik, and Bob Backlund was the furthest thing from anyone's mind.
Knee walking out of the
So I had no idea who the hell Bob Backlund was at that point.
Which makes sense, and it's more about them adding funny lines in. So then you go, it's 1979, and I'm Bob Backlund, I've never been defeated. And at one point, Ron makes you go, it's 1979, the year some movie was released. And he's giggling, and Jay asks why he said that one, and Ron explains that's when the movie came out. But you just see a giddiness out of Ron and Jay, like they're having so much fun with each other.
Sure they are.
And then the best part is, Jay goes, I'm just trying to make Fez laugh, and pulls Fez in right away in such an organic way that now Fez is chiming in like the old Fez. And this was when there was some anxiety. We talked about Ron with the sarcasm line about, I don't know, about Scotland. You know, Fez is freaks. So it's very organic. It's really good. But the way he gets into hurting you is just very interesting. So we weren't sure if it was like a big brother bullying a little brother type situation.
What happened? How did he hurt me? I know the hot sauce. I mean, you guys are talking like other stuff occurred, because I only remember the hot sauce. Now, I can give you a very detailed account of the hot sauce.
Well, I'll break it down for you. Don't worry.
Please.
So the first thing that happens is you walk in the room, and he goes, Jesus Christ, I've never seen you in person, Dave, but you could haunt 2 houses in a room at once.
Oh.
And
because
Ron
of the
goes like,
skin.
What do you mean by that? He goes, the room he's in haunting, and the room he was just in, his presence would be haunting, or something like. And then as you're getting burned at points, he goes, what's that fire on your arm? Is that a bush fire? Like, he's really attacking the ginger part of the aspect
I guess
of
so.
it.
I guess so. He's having a good time.
And again, this is, early 2000s. It's shock jock era. But it felt, again, if you didn't know you guys had this good relationship, you could go, oh, man, this guy's just attacking Dave. But if you realize you're good friends, it feels kind of like Big Brother.
I didn't mind at all. I was having a good time. And Jay Moore's a funny guy. I like Jay Moore.
Eventually, the choking... He chokes you and Earl at the same time.
Chokes us.
That gets to be a bit much. So Jay comes up with the idea to pour hot sauce on your armpits.
That hot sauce is evil juice. Don't open that up.
Oh, what?
You want to do a little hot sauce, Dave?
Away from my
I can do some hot sauce.
Yeah. We'll let them know.
Put some hot sauce on your torso. Be a fucking man. Be an animal, man.
Yeah.
It'll only burn my head. If you put it on your armpits, it'll fucking burn the shit out of you. You don't believe me?
I doubt that.
Let's go, hot man. It's Frank's Red Hot.
Put your dick in it. Let's see if you can't pull up something.
Put your dick in it and I'll drink it. But get a good... No. Just pour it in your hand and wipe it all over your armpits.
Why? You want my dick in it?
Armpits?
No.
Armpits?
Why would we?
Armpits. Let's go.
Hit your pits first.
All right.
Good, healthy fucking dog.
You know what? Don't get it all over the floor either, like an animal.
Yeah,
right?
use like a paper towel.
It's a place of respect here.
Oh, okay.
I think Earl wanted to make a point of some sort.
All right, easy, you animal. Here comes Eastside Dave.
No, with your hands, not with a tissue. What are you, a fucking...
It looks like a fucking
like this.
thigh.
You pour it in your hand like this, and
it's going to get all over the floor.
Who cares? Well, you got to clean it. You work here.
No.
Is that a campfire in your forearm?
That smells good, though.
It does.
Smells better than what was there.
Eat your fucking arm.
Stings a little bit.
Yeah, sure, it should.
What is that, a campfire in your arm?
Yeah.
What's
really?
wrong?
It stinks?
Yeah, a little bit.
Why would that stink? Get one or the other. You're fucking
No, stick with the deodorant.
What?
It's such a sensitive area.
Ow. What's bothering you?
What is Give me some fucking water, seriously.
No, wait.
No.
What do you want?
Hey!
Take the pain.
Ow!
The other one.
Take the pain.
No, the left one just is fine.
Now keep...
Cowbell. Hold out his hand.
Now keep your arms up.
Come up.
Oh, no! It's sticking, man!
What is sticking?
Ow! It's sticking!
What hurts?
I need water!
For what?
No!
No! Dave, I got water.
How is it?
Delicious. What's wrong, Dave?
I can't take it! No, I can't take it! It's fucking mixing with my deodorant!
Why?
It's mixing with my deodorant!
He's frothing at the mouth.
He's gone rabid. No!
What? Wow, stop hitting yourself. You're a big boy.
Oh!
You're a big boy.
Use words. Use your words.
No.
What? All right.
It's an act?
I have no idea. How could that hurt? Do you know how that could hurt?
The only thing I can think of, Ronnie, is it's such a sensitive part on the body.
I have no idea.
That it's going right through.
Why would that hurt, though?
Mixed with my deodorant.
No, the deodorant would make a shield like a fort. Do it again.
Yeah.
Do it again.
I can't do it, man.
You got choked out. Okay, James Brown.
Oh, man.
Does that really hurt?
Yes.
Fucking hot sauce on your armpit?
Stung at first.
Let's see. Look up. Pick your arms up. Let's see it.
Just stung at first.
Yeah.
It just looks the same. It looks like iodine, like you gave blood.
He's just more orangey.
I didn't know
Do
that.
it again. Do it again.
Because I don't even believe it.
Do it again. You're putting this on, man.
I'm putting what on?
Hot sauce on your pits.
I'm putting this on, then call me Allie Pacino.
What's that mean?
Allie Pacino. I call him Allie.
Why?
Because I'd be the greatest actor if I could put this on.
I haven't seen all of his movies. He never puts anything in his armpit.
It's a combination of his two favorite, Al Pacino and Ali Sheedy.
Frank's Red
That's
Hot.
it, baby.
Put it on again.
That's it, Johnny Sauce.
Roll him around.
That's it,
Your
Franco.
armpits. The stupid thing to do. Do it again, Dave.
Balaban's out.
Dance for me, Dave.
Balaban's been pinned, baby.
Red Hot.
Red Hot's gone to cold.
Do
What
it again.
happened? Come on, let's
Do it again or I gotta go. I'm leaving if you're not gonna
Jay's
do it again.
leaving.
Pour it on your hands like this. You're not even looking at me.
Come on.
Pour it on your hands. You just clean it up when you're done. And then put it on your armpits like this.
All
like
right.
a fucking man would do it.
Fine.
Come on. Yeah, now put that shit under there. Quick. Rub it in hard. Hard like a fucking man. Now do the other hand.
Rub it raw.
Why is it
Rub
burnt?
it raw.
It's
And then
a
down the
lot
pants.
faster.
Then down on your penis.
No, I can't.
Yes, you
Get some
can.
on the sack.
Yes, you can. Get some on the
Finish up
sack.
on the sack.
Get some on the sack.
Yeah.
Shower. Oh, no, this is not a good
What do you mean is there a shower? You work here. We don't have any showers.
We need a lot more. Help! Help! No!
Stop acting out.
Stop it.
Stop it.
Help! Help!
What hurts?
Someone give me some water!
Flap.
Flap!
Here, Dave.
There's a
Pencil. Take a pencil.
No!
What burns?
Talk, Dave.
Come on. You have to tell us what's wrong.
Pencil?
A little more.
What's bothering you? What's bothering you? All right, that's
Come
a
on.
waste. That's a
I need
waste.
starch. I need something here.
Starch?
Something to catch the water. No. Ah!
What happened?
Fucking hot sauce.
Some got poured down his pants.
All right, you're acting out.
You are. You're acting like an idiot.
My 4-year-old son doesn't act like this. And he's covered in hot sauce constantly.
Why?
You're my Anthony. You laugh, I'm happy.
Hey, where are you going? Come back here.
Somebody got their hot sauce period.
Fucking bare ass. He's running bare ass across the fucking office, and they're following him with a camera.
He's not right. How did that guy ever get into...
What's going on, Dave?
Pants are burning me, dude. There's like fucking 3rd-degree burns here.
Well, you need some more hot sauce.
I don't need more.
You need more cowbell.
You never heard of fighting fire with fire?
My pants
The
are
man
the size
needs
of an acorn.
more hot sauce.
You guys fucked me good.
What?
You
Yeah.
guys fucked me good.
Why are you saying that?
I can't think, dude.
I thought we were a team.
Now choke him out. Quick, Poe. Yeah.
He's coming
Poe,
back.
choke him out.
He's
Choke
coming
him out,
back with
Poe.
a kilt on.
Choke.
I can't do it, man.
What's wrong?
Do what?
I can't fucking do this.
You saying you want to leave Friday?
No. But what I'm saying is, that's it.
Now you're going to say, I'm Roddy Piper, and I
Yeah.
love hot sauce.
That's it, Mr. Moore.
It's 1985, and I love hot sauce.
Say, I'm Roddy Piper. I love hot sauce, and I've never been beat. Say it.
Roddy Piper.
Into the camera.
It's hot sauce, a Piper pit. Whatever. I haven't never been beat.
Raise a
All right,
remote.
now
let's
it's
go.
you're fucking doing Back to the Future. You're making a mockery
Yeah,
out of
what
this.
was that?
I can't see, guys.
What's
Put some
wrong?
hot sauce in your eyes.
Dave, what went wrong there anyway? Where did
What
you,
time is it, man?
Why would you feel pain from that?
Because the hot sauce
is extra hot, and it's burning my armpits because of my deodorant. And on my asshole, I can only say that I've had diarrhea lately because, as we all know, I've been sick. I've been rubbing my ass so much with toilet paper that now it's, blood comes up with the thing. So obviously I've cut my asshole, so the hot sauce on that was the worst thing. It still stings when I sit down.
What are you wearing under that kilt?
I'm wearing nothing, man. I had to take off my boxers and my jeans because...
It's so hot.
Because your armpits hurt.
Yeah. I don't get it, Dave.
We gotta get a shower. I'm seriously burning up here.
I think you're...
you can't go down to the fucking bathroom like that. We share it with other people. You'll look like an animal.
Yeah, this was rough.
He does, and you freak out.
It was torturous.
Excruciatingly hot. Now,
torturous.
Your theory at the time was that it was combining with your deodorant, and that was creating the problem. Do you still feel like that's what was occurring?
No, because I now realize it was just the fact that this particular hot sauce should have been used to drop out of American airplanes in Vietnam. It was that kind of it could have been used to bomb a bridge. This hot sauce. If they just dropped 100 bottles of this hot sauce, they would have taken out a headquarters in Saigon or some shit. This shit was fucking TNT explosive. This was fucking poisonous explosive. This was hot.
Incredibly hot. And then you freak out. You get to the point where you're just punching yourself in the head. And they're like, Dave, use your words. You try to use words, and it's not English that comes. You're just like you're in so much pain.
It was hot. I can't describe the heat. It was as if the devil was taking a warm pitchfork and slamming me in the face with it over and over again while dipping me in a volcano.
So while you're experiencing that excruciating pain and freaking out, Jay Moore then pours a bunch down your ass crack and on your penis.
That was the worst.
It doesn't lead to a good situation.
No,
you have a meltdown right at the end of the show. They go into Satellite of Love, and that's pretty much...
I couldn't stand. The hot sauce went into my anus, and it went into my dick hole. Down the dick hole, through the penis, and I wish I could say out my ass, but no, that's not how the digestive or intestinal systems or the penis systems work. But see, even if the hot sauce poured down the dick hole could somehow come through the ass, it wouldn't have worked because there was hot sauce getting poured in the ass. So it just stayed, that stream of hot sauce between the dick hole and the ass stayed constant. And I went to the bathroom, and I couldn't stand. I actually started throwing up, even though it wasn't like I was eating anything.
So that wasn't during the show on air? That was in between?
Off the air.
Right after the show?
After the air, the show ended at 3. By 3:30,
you were
sweating
puking
profusely and vomiting hardcore, not having eaten anything.
No, yeah. And
this was hot sauce in the dick hole and anus that was making me vomit. It was fucking insanity.
That's when people started to realize there was a real problem. But
there was?
Before we get into your experience with the hot sauce.
Yes, Bobby?
As a fan, you hear Dave freaking out with hot sauce as they fade into Satellite of Love. And you're like, oh, that was a good bit. We'll hear Dave on the FM show. So you kind of assume it was just like Dave's overhyping it to make it the end of the show.
Yep.
You don't realize the real hell you're in. Now, before we get into that hell, we are going to go do a commercial break here.
Oh.
And we are going to take a break, but our actual thing we're going to do before that is a commercial. So I got to ask you, do you know what brand of hot sauce you got burned by?
Oh, Robert, I believe this was extra hot, poisonous.
Okay, well, that sounds terrible. You know a sauce that'll never burn you like that? That is Silk City hot sauce.
Silk City hot sauce?
Yeah.
What's Silk City hot sauce?
Silk City hot sauce is our first sponsor here on Tales from the Satellite.
Look at this. Silk City hot sauce are a brand new sponsor on Tales from the Satellite. Oh, my God. The best retrospective podcast going today. And Silk City hot sauce, guess what? You're the best hot sauce going today, dog.
Absolutely. And if you're a fan of podcasts, you probably have heard of Silk City before.
Yes. I love it.
Much like Mike Romanelli's a fan of comics and podcasts, Silk City is a fan of podcast, and a lot of their flavors are people that we may have worked with in the past. You've got Aaron Berg's Badass Jew. You've got Kevin Dombrowski's Buffalo Wings. So here's
Robert,
the beauty
I love this hot sauce, by the way. Do I tell you what I do with it?
I hope you don't put it in your dick hole.
No.
Okay, good.
Microwave popcorn.
Ooh.
Silk City hot sauce. You put the popcorn in the microwave for 2 minutes. Don't take it out of the bag. Take your Silk City hot sauce. Pour it on the microwave. Pour it on the popcorn. Close the bag. Shake it up. Then you pour it into the bowl. Oh, my God. Silk City hot sauce popcorn is the greatest thing ever.
It's so good. And here's what's cool about Silk City. I don't know what this promo code is going to get you because it's a small-town operation. It's run by Jeff and his daughter. You can see his 3-year-old daughter bottling the hot
Jeff,
sauce.
for supporting the show.
No. The beauty of it is the promo code. He'll do something for you. So sometimes it'll be $10 off.
Gotcha.
Sometimes it'll be, we're trying a new sauce. We'll throw it in for free with your order. Sometimes I think it's always free shipping, or maybe it's never free shipping. I don't know. But I know if you use the promo code RIDER, that's right.
RIDER.
RIDER, just like the Midnight Rider.
Make sure you
will get a special something. Usually it's $5 off. Occasionally he'll throw something in, but that's a way of letting him know that you're a fan of ours, and he'll throw a little something extra in for you.
Make sure you spell that properly, too, by the way. We don't want it spelled like Winona. Okay? She spells it with a Y. That ain't the fucking Midnight. No. All right? This is the Midnight Rider, so the code word is Rider, RIDER. Plug it in there
at SilkCityHotSauce.com
and get some deals, get some things going, and get some bottles of Silk City hot sauce. I gotta tell you, this hot sauce is unbelievable.
My personal favorite is the Jonestown.
The Jonestown hot sauce.
And the reason why is you go to the back to see the ingredients, and there's no label on the back. It's a great joke.
Just Kool-Aid.
Yeah, exactly. It's yeah. So Silk City hot sauce. Thank you so much. Check it out, and we will be right back after this brief commercial break.
Yeah, now put that shit under there, quick. Rub it in hard like a fucking man. Had to go to the hospital, cause the B-list celebrity poured a bottle of hot sauce down his pants and burned his dick hole. He's got blisters on his asshole. You should sue Jay Moore for pain and suffering. When the doctors and nurses were laughing at you. Eastside Dave. Don't fucking be You've been publicly humiliated. That girl never let Jay Moore disrespect him on the motherfucking radio. Cracker Jack say what? He let a dog lick his nuts. He let his mama eat the jelly from a jar that he fucked. That girl never let Jay Moore disrespect him on the motherfucking radio. Cracker Jack say what? He let a dog lick his nuts. He let his mama eat the jelly from a jar that he fucked.
What's bothering you? Buddies, it's the Ron and Fez Show, Friday, Fezzy. And that means it's all on the line today for a young man who has put his career up, and I respect that totally. We'll see how it goes. The vote-off is today.
A little gossip, a little chat.
Oh, it's so exciting, Fez. It's like American Idol. We're a vote-off show. We're finally a vote-off show. Now, I'm looking around. I don't see Eastside Dave.
No, I don't believe Eastside Dave is here. I think he missed today.
Wow, that's risky. That's a risky thing to pull off when it's vote-off day on the Ron and Fez Show. Will we keep the redhead or launch him? It's so exciting.
So, yeah, Eastside Dave not with the Ron and Fez Show today.
I had a little problem yesterday. Show got a little out of control yesterday. Got a little shock jockey.
Yeah, a little bit. Eastside
we
Dave.
Were shock jocks. Eastside Dave, Fezzy, was taking the challenge yesterday. Poe was choking the boys out. And I thought that was going to be the problem. But then, for some reason, Eastside Dave says to himself, I know how to make this even weirder. I'll take hot sauce, put it on my armpits, which I never knew that could burn.
I had never heard of that myself.
Then he drops some down his pants, and I guess you would say a guest of ours poured too much down his pants. I have never even heard of this before. The burn was so bad yesterday that, he acted like an idiot in here. Fine. It's after the show. He found himself throwing up in our restroom. Earl lined it up that he could go get a shower at a local health club.
Yeah, New York Health and Racquet Club here on 56th Street.
What did you say to them? Because he's not a member. You just call him up and say what?
I called him, explained who I was and where I was from, and I just said, hey, one of our producers had I was trying to word it very delicately. He's like,
yeah.
It's like this. Long story short, he had a little bit of an accident and he needs to use a shower.
But Earl, it sounds like he shat himself.
Well, that question.
When someone you said, I've had an accident, I need to shower, I would only think shit.
Oh yeah, what other accident could you have that requires showering and soap? And towels.
Oh, it could be hot sauce all over your balls and ass.
And they agreed to this, Earl?
Yeah, the New York Health and Racquet Club, very cool. They were just...
The homeless are going to start running this scam. I've got hot sauce on me. Can I use your showers?
So what did they say to you? It was just, okay, bring them over?
Yeah, I spoke to management, and he was like, hey, it's like, ask for me, and it's like, we'll take care of it. We'll make sure it's private and done very... very...
I'm so uncomfortable that this conversation even took place. So that's when I thought it was the end of it. I started the world's slowest walkover. I left, went out to eat. I thought everything was fine. He went off to the shower. I guess taking a shower is the worst thing that you can do because it actually spread the burn.
Yeah, it was a combination of the water from the shower and the soap that he was using there. Health club gym soap.
Right, not the best soap.
Exactly.
Mix in with the hot sauce.
Exactly.
But at the point, he was already in terrible agony.
Yes.
Before he even tried this. And maybe it's because the Irish milky skin. I don't know what it is. The guy has skin like saran wrap. It barely even keeps together as it is. So that he came back here and was screaming, right, Earl?
Yeah, he said, I was like, hey, how was your shower? Everything cool? He goes, I'm in a lot of pain. I'm not feeling really well. He goes, I need a doctor. I need to go to a hospital. He was really in a lot of pain. So...
Just really cutting the fool.
Yeah, and then I said, you know what? So if you want to go to the hospital, come on, fine. We'll go to the hospital. And we called the local hospital, which I didn't even know this was right down the block. And they said, and once we called them and described what had happened, they said, well, we can't treat you for that. You're going to have to go, where they treat burns. You're going to have to go to a burn unit. So after
that's bullshit. Any hospital can fix anything. Here's what they try to do at emergency wards. Push you to another hospital, no matter where it is. So you should have just walked in down there and they would have had to deal with them. So what happened then, Earl?
And then we called, I said, you know what, let's just call an EMT because they can treat you pretty much right on the spot. And Dave he called the EMTs. And
now let's bring Bronx Johnny in here because he was there when the EMT showed up. And apparently there was also a ruckus as well. But here's what embarrasses me. We do a show. A guy pours hot sauce down his pants. And then the fucking lights have to go on and an ambulance has to come here. And it's New York City. You're passing people who've been shot or had heart attacks or lost an ear, all because an idiot doesn't know how to do radio. So when the EMTs showed up, there was a problem between them and Dave.
Yeah, he had first when he called the operator laughed at him too because he just said, "Oh, I had a little bit of an accident with hot sauce."
Yeah.
She was like, "What necessarily?" He's like, "Oh, I burned myself." She was like, "Okay, where?" She was like, "Oh, it landed a little bit, on my junk and in my asshole." She started laughing.
So then the EMTs laughed at him.
Yeah, the EMTs showed up because they thought it was a bit. They was like, "You guys, trying to punk us or whatever."
Yeah, I know. We're not fucking shock jocks. That's what I hate about this.
Stupid.
I spend my whole life not trying to be the show that, has hot sauce up someone's ass. Which you think should be something I should be able to pull off.
Well, that's just the opposite of what happened.
Because, see, the thing is, when that makes, whatever fucking news out there, when in the lighter side of the news, two wacky DJs, and then the guy dies, and then that's all you're fucking known for. Everything else you've ever come up with, any interesting line, but fuck it, it's all gone. So they came and looked at him.
They start laughing. They was like, "Yeah, you fuck with us." He was like, "No," and then he got mad. He literally got upset.
What'd he do?
He started yelling a little bit, berating him. He was like, "You guys aren't doing your fucking job. You know what? Just forget it. I'll go myself. I don't need you guys."
I don't need you.
He's always ready. I know. He's always ready to fucking lose his head around authority. Any slight authority turns him into a fucking idiot.
They're following procedure, and he thinks it's an attack.
No, they laughed at him. Who would not laugh? If you're a guy, I mean, I never laughed this hard in my life as seeing that fucking idiot jumping up and down because he's burning from hot sauce.
And his pants were at his ankles over here by this door, and they made him put ice packs on his balls and his asshole until they could get him out of here.
See, I hate this. I really do.
And he refused to go on the gurney, so he wanted to walk out under his own power, too.
Holding a fucking ice pack to his balls.
He's quite the hero.
Yeah. All right, so from that point on, we go on with our... I don't know anything about this. I get a call from Earl while I'm having dinner. Yeah, Dave's in the hospital. It's bad. Really bad. I'm like, what are you fucking saying to me? How could it be bad? Hot sauce down your pants. How could this be? Now, Earl has got it set up like I just got a news call from Iraq about a nephew or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we don't have all the details, but it does not look good. He completely falls into the dooms, Earl.
Yeah, and you're right. How could it be so bad? People have had to have spilled hot sauce on their skin before.
Yeah.
Just eating it.
All right, so basically they kept him till, what, 10 o'clock last night? 8 o'clock, something like that, 9 o'clock?
Yeah, it was like 8:30, 9 o'clock, the latest.
But some kind of burn gel on him?
Yeah, they lubed him up with some gel and basically sent him home.
So it's probably like getting a really bad sunburn. Where, Earl, you acted like a baby swallowed battery acid.
And I was only relaying, Dave was just such the voice of, he was just relaying information. I was like,
right,
Dave.
but you need to fucking come back to me in a way before I go on the air in a way that I'm not sitting around fucking thinking about things.
You come in like a doom vulture, Earl.
Nice, Fez, thank you. That's the word I was looking for. I couldn't think of it. Doom vulture.
Just circling us.
Like a buzzard. Like some fucking buzzard in the desert.
You're Debbie Downer.
And we are back. Hopefully that was enough time for you to buy a bunch of Silk City hot sauce.
We gotta thank them for being a sponsor of Tales from the Satellite, starring Davey Mac and Robert Tamburo. Hey, by the way, Bobby, I see you drinking. You're usually a weed guy.
I am a weed guy.
Look at you. Cheers, baby.
Cheers, baby.
The fucking rider is fucking influenced you a little bit.
He's influencing me for sure.
I mean, someone who does an impression of the Midnight Rider. That's what I meant by that.
Well,
I mean, obviously, I'm
if
not
there's
the Midnight
anything,
Rider.
oh, of course not. No. If there's anything I love about the Rider, it's that he takes my dreams and puts them into
your dreams.
And puts them into his.
I take my dreams and put them into your dreams. I take my dreams from my heart and put them into your heart.
And I need that right now, so I'm going to drink this beer and then send some text.
From the top of the
shouldn't.
mountains to the bottom of the canyons, Bobby. What you need to do is sip on that alcohol, Daddy. Make sure glug, 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 it goes down and you're feeling like one more silver dollar, Bobby. You're feeling one more silver dollar, Daddy.
And then I'm going to send some text messages, Mr. Ryder. So that should be a fun Saturday for Rob dealing with the fallout.
Hey, you female comedian bitch. This is Bobby Tamburo saying I am done with your skank ass. After all I do is help you, hook you up with comedy nightclubs. I'm just looking for a little, rub and tug.
You want to get hit by another bus? I mean, my penis. My penis is the other bus. It's going to be very rough. Anyway.
Your personal life is in shambles right now. We don't need to go into that on Tales from the Satellite.
As was the Riders.
It was?
Yours.
The Riders was?
Not the Riders. I apologize.
Eastside Dave's.
You, who worked with the Rider or got his job replaced after you had hot sauce poured on you. So we don't hear from you during the FM show. The only thing that comes up is earlier in the day, during the XM show, you pointed out that the boards were getting behind you. They were rallying to call in, and Mr. King of the Sting made a comment where he was like, I'm all for Dave. I don't like that Ron keeps threatening to fire people. It's got to be a hard environment to work in. Ron reads that and decides...
Who?
King of the Sting.
King of the Sting. Okay, just it's a fan with a fun nickname. Okay.
At
gotcha.
which point, Ron decides, fuck that. If they're going to be anti-Ron, that's going to cost Davey Mac points in the competition.
Come on, King of the Sting. Jesus Christ, man. You fucking got me penalized.
So you lose 2 votes.
2?
He actually calls in.
That's like how they fucked me over on the Shorty Awards. Once they saw me popping my mouth off, they just started subtracting votes out of nowhere. Now the same thing's happening with the writer.
That does seem to be the running theme.
That's fucked.
Of Davey runs his mouth and loses voice. Points.
I'm the only one who consistently is in elections and they just subtract votes. And no, I ain't talking modern day politics. I realize what I just said. Go ahead, Robert.
No, I know. And then he calls in, asks everybody to clear the room, and tells Ron that you call him a cocksucker on the board, so Ron hits you with a cowbell. That's
Jesus. Well, wait, this is the same day?
This is right after. This is the morning before you get the hot sauce. The only time we hear about you is that Ron feels bad because you're not on the show. You had to go to the hospital. So he gives you the 2 votes back.
So I did have to go to the hospital.
Not at work. So that's what we're going to talk about now. So basically, between shows, you, as you pointed out, you were throwing up and puking.
Throwing up and puking.
Through what you remember.
Throwing up and puking. Earl Douglas begged him, please help me get to a hospital. Another case. I was hospitalized at least twice in my Ron and Fez era because I am the guy who goes the extra mile and puts my body on the line time and time again. And both times I asked Earl, please get me a taxi. I didn't want an ambulance because I knew that would bring a lot of heat to the XM studios. Apparently, Earl didn't know that because he actually had an ambulance called when he fucking wasn't even sick. He just was bullshitting fainting. Anyway, he has me walk 14 blocks while I'm telling you, my dick, crotch, and ass felt like someone was sticking them with red-hot Freddy Krueger knives that had been fucking stuck in molten lava and were 1,000 degrees, and he's making me walk 14 blocks in New York City for this goddamn fucking hospital. I'm like, get me a taxi cab.
So you're actually skipping a step here, because before you needed to go to the hospital or felt the need to go to the emergency room, Earl actually did something productive.
All right, talk to me.
He called the New York Sports and Racket Club and was able to convince them to allow you to shower there. He said there was an incident on radio and that one of your employees had an accident and needed to shower.
I don't remember this at all.
So
maybe I wasn't even a part of this. Maybe Earl said this when I wasn't in the room because I don't remember this at all.
He hooked it up that you could, like, the manager was like, yeah, we'll set up a nice little private shower for you. So you went to try to wash the hot sauce off and you used the gym soap, which made it burn even worse.
I do remember this.
So how did Earl call a gym and convince them that you shit yourself bad enough you needed to shower?
I actually remember this. Because he was afraid of taking me to the hospital because he thought we'd all get in trouble. So he was like, well, you got to take a shower first. And I'm like, well, how the fuck is that going to happen? You mean I got to go all the way back to my apartment in Queens? I was living in Queens at the time. So I got to go all the way back to Queens, take a shower, and then come all the way back here because the fucking 92.3 K-Rock show was going to start at 6. So I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm not going all the way to fucking Queens. By the way, I was throwing up. I was throwing up and shitting fucking fire, and I'm desperate. I'm sweating. I'm passing out. I'm like fainting, and I'm really fucking ill and fucked up. And he's like, oh, yeah, wash it off. And you know who was the good goddamn soldier? Me! I went to that club. You actually are jogging a memory. We went to the club, and they didn't have proper soap. The only soap I use, look at my face.
Irish
Look
Spring.
at my goddamn hair. No, not Irish Spring. Dove sensitive skin soap. Soap for sensitive skin. People like me, Powder, the albino and the firm starring Tom Cruise and Gene Hackman. Okay? Those are the people who use Dove sensitive soap. So I was using Dove sensitive. Earl brings me into fucking some shitty... by the way, what did he say it was, Robert? New York Tennis and Racket Club?
Like Sports Racket Club, yeah.
Okay. You know what it was, Robert? It should have been called Manhattan Crack Den YMCA because that's where he fucking brought me. There wasn't no goddamn ritzy fucking New York Sports and Racket Club. He brought me to some shitty fucking meth, heroin junkie fucking fueled YMCA, and I go there, and of course, because it's a YMCA, they don't have proper soap.
No.
They got that shit that you actually have to hit your hand on. It's fucking industrial liquid
MRSA
nitroglycerin.
Yeah.
I'm fucking washing that shit. It's worse, and I think I'm gonna die. I might actually become the Game of Thrones eunuch right now and chop the dick off because I can't take this anymore.
That was impressive because that was 5 years before Game of Thrones. But no, yeah, terrible. I also used that Dove skin care.
Sensitive skin?
Yeah, anytime.
Good for you. Now, see, you're Italian, so I didn't think you would need that.
You know what's crazy? My dad is too, but even like if he uses the soap at a hospital, he's a doctor. Like if he doesn't use his own soap, his whole hands will break down.
Jesus.
It's so sensitive. But yeah,
why do they do that?
I can only imagine the hell of putting that on your genitals.
Why wouldn't you? Well, this ain't the fucking soap show, but I just wanted to say, if you're Dove soap, why wouldn't you offer all hospitals? You're going to be the #1 fucking soap supplier for hospitals. You'd probably make $1 billion goddamn doing that, Dove. I know I'm fucking Davey Genius, Davey fucking fucking thoughts over here, Davey Brainstorm. Dove, I think I just got you $1 billion. Become the fucking the hospital soap chain.
Yeah, that's a good option.
Anyway, Robert,
so
I was burning.
From the Racket Club, you go back to the studio. You're burning even worse. I believe this is when you throw up even more. Earl says...
It was terrible. One of the worst experiences, like physically, food poisoning in 2000, I got so bad that I was like, honestly, if someone had a gun, I'd be like, seriously, shoot me. I will take it. This was in that like spectrum. You can't imagine how uncomfortable it is when your dick hole and asshole are on white, hot fire.
Yeah.
I'm almost puking
torturous,
right now.
Yeah, I can only imagine, but...
I'm getting the goddamn sweats.
So Earl does call
this.
the urgent care.
Yeah.
And they say, no, we can't treat that here.
Urgent care? What is wrong with this guy? This is a serious medical issue, you motherfucker. This is why when we got the goddamn Play Like a Champion Notre Dame sign recently, I thanked Ron Bennington, Gail Bennington, Chris Pepper Stanley, and no thanks for Earl. Because this is not urgent care.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a serious issue.
Well, I mean, that's like an emergency room, right?
No, it's never, ever good.
So you go.
My finger is still fucked up from going to an urgent care. Hold on.
What'd I do to you?
No, if you look at my left finger and my right finger, I can't straighten out my right finger. And it's because I went to urgent care. Hold up. Look at this. See?
Oh, shit.
I was playing I was playing football, and I was playing in 22-degree weather.
That's not smart.
And even though I caught the ball, my finger jammed. It actually dislocated a ligament in the hand. Urgent care. You know what they literally did? Nothing! They go, you're going to need a hand specialist. Oh, by the way, here's $200. I go, you're not giving me a splint, a Band-Aid, a fucking drug, and you're still thinking of calling of charging me $200? Fuck you, Joe Boo.
It's not straight. But anyway, so you decide not there. Earl goes, I'm not going to a fucking burn ward, Earl. Like, I'm not walking into a burn ward and saying, I've poured hot sauce on my penis. I need help. So Earl's brilliant thought in that moment is to call the EMTs because they can treat you on site. Now, this happens without your knowledge. He calls the EMTs. You get a ride to the hospital.
Finally, huh?
What happens at the hospital? What was it
They
like?
put me in the milk bath. They got a tub of
No, you're skipping way too many steps for me.
Oh, sorry.
The doctor comes in and goes, what's wrong with you, young man? And how did you explain to the doctor what occurred? Like,
okay.
You know what I mean? Like, take me through that, because that's...
I told him exactly. So I was in the point of pain right there where you're going to be 1,000% honest because there's no time for fuck around.
Just get me out of this pain.
Like honestly, give me the hardest fucking form of goddamn, pill heroin that you have. So I told him, I was in a radio bit. I might have even dropped fucking Jay Moore's name. I was like, I was in a radio
This
band.
dickhead Jay Moore.
I go, the guy, you know, he's a comedian, but you would recognize him from Jerry Maguire. He was Tom Cruise's rival in Jerry Maguire. Remember that? Yeah, he was great in that, right? Yeah. That guy. Tom Cruise's rival, Jerry Maguire, poured fucking hot sauce down my dick hole and down my asshole, Doc, and I feel like killing myself. Please help.
We've got
That's
a
what I
schizophrenic in room 904B.
That is exactly what I said. I love that you're drinking for a change.
What was the doctor's reaction?
Goddamn pothead. What?
What was the doctor's reaction?
Oh, you know doctors.
So he took it
Okay,
seriously.
Sir. Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't like doctors.
You're not a big doctor fan. What about Dr. Steve?
I love Dr. Steve. Dr. Steve's helped me a number of times.
What about Dr. John?
I don't know Dr. John.
Folks, he doesn't know who Dr. John is. He's never seen The Last Waltz, the fucking movie about the band. Folks, you've never seen The Last Waltz?
I just didn't realize that's who the doctor.
Dr. John's the piano player. Such a night
I was
under
thinking
the
of
moonlight.
who was the co-host with Dr. Steve who just passed away recently.
I don't know.
That's who I thought you were referencing. I was like,
No,
I'm
I
not
only know
familiar.
Dr. Steve and Dr. John. Those are the only two doctors I know.
Dr. Steve's helped me a number of times. Anyway, we're getting far. You're at the
All right, let's
hospital.
go.
They put you in a milk bath.
Put me in a milk bath. That's the way to do it. And then they gave me some kind of like milk-esque solution. It wasn't milk, obviously.
But it was a basic substance.
Yeah, and they said when you get home, pour this in the bathtub. Actually, they said you got to take like 3 milk baths in the next 24 hours. So I had to take another one that night when I got home from the hospital, next one in the morning, next one at night. I think it was a fucking terrible experience.
Okay, that does take some of the next questions we had was, so you went home. You obviously didn't do the FM show. You get home and to Queens, and now you have to explain to Claire.
I was going out with Westside Claire at the time.
We need 13 gallons of milk.
I know, because they gave me 1 gallon of this milk-type substance. And I'm like, well, last time I checked, that ain't going to fill a bathtub, bro. So, yeah, we had to go out and buy a whole bunch of gallons of milk.
When did she learn that you had been seriously injured by hot sauce?
I tried to keep that from her. She was not a fan of any stunts that would result in me getting injured.
Seems like she loved you.
That's a kind thing.
Yeah.
I'm not dissing her for that. So I hid that. I hid that very, very much. I might have said that it was still the armpits. And,
Okay.
I got to, like, soak these armpits.
And that's why we
she
need
didn't
this
need
much.
to know about the dick hole and anus at that point, yeah.
And so then pretty much that ends your evening. You're taking milk baths. If you'll recall, you weren't able to sit down. You weren't able to stand up.
Well, it doesn't end my evening. I remember getting a call from Ron.
Oh, really?
And he said, how are you feeling? And I said, I want to die. My dick and ass are still feel like they're on fire. Like literally someone is lighting them on fire as we speak. I want to die, actually. And Ron goes, yeah, why don't you take tomorrow off?
Okay.
By the way, Ron never suggests
Taking the day
any producer taking the day off. The fact that he suggested that told me that he was concerned, and I mean I appreciate that.
Yeah, it was
like
definitely-
he was legitimately concerned because I think he even said, "Oh, wait a second," he did say on the phone. I remember this exact line. He said, "Things got a little out of control. Why don't you take the day off?" Quite frankly, Jay Moore, and I love you. This isn't a diss, but this is what this show's about. To give some details that people don't know, he went into business for himself with the hot sauce.
Yeah.
The hot sauce was supposed to be a little hot sauce on the head. And then I took it up a notch with the armpits. And that actually fucking sucked. That really was terrible. And then he went overboard. He grabbed the pants, poured the fucking hot sauce down the dick, down the ass. And I didn't sign up for that shit. So Ron's like, yeah, things got carried away.
And even the next day on air, he points that out.
Can I get credit for this? How many motherfuckers would sue? Or how many motherfuckers would make a big deal about it? Or how many motherfuckers would take their ball and go home and never do a bit again?
Yeah, dude, it would have been so terrible if this was the Jay Moore Presents Tales from the Satellite by Davey Mac. That would be fucking the worst.
No, but I mean, how many producers would fucking, Do this.
Of your producers, I would say 2/3.
Of what?
Of your producers for this show, I would say 2/3 would take their ball and go home.
Will you answer the fucking question? The O&A, Ron and Fez producers.
Oh, none.
Thank
That's
you.
Easy. I didn't realize you were asking that. I thought
You-
you meant of all the producers in the world.
No, you stupid son of a bitch. This is Tales from the Satellite. I'm talking to you always about the O&A and Ron and Fez producers. Out of those guys,
I mean, Earl Douglas was right there and didn't get any hot sauce on him. So what more do you need to say?
none of them would do that in any way, shape, or form. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Like, they would, one of those guys would have sued O&A, you know, if they had gotten hot sauce poured on their fucking dick and ass. I guarantee
Every single
it.
one of them would have.
Yeah, I mean,
oh,
guarantee
yeah. Every
it.
single one of them.
Okay, there would have been an HR thing. There would have been maybe a lawsuit. No one even fucking heard about it. No one at SiriusXM even fucking heard about it. So you know what? Come on, man.
Give
Maybe
Davey
I
a
should get a
little
little
more credit.
A little credit, dog.
So
little credit for being cool.
You get
Never
off the
got
phone-
that credit for being cool.
No.
Now I am.
Because of this podcast.
Fucking A.
So you go
Cheers.
home. You get the.
No, with your fucking woodchuck. Thank you,
I
baby.
may need to slow down.
Not me.
No,
I'm
you're-
enjoying myself.
You're a tank. But you get the call from Ron. The show kind of ends there. Or the night ends there for you. The next day.
And it was a nice call. I appreciate
him
it.
checking in, yeah.
And thank Ronnie B for that.
Next day is the day of the vote.
All right, next day's day vote.
So you
What
took,
timing?
So you took off the day of the vote where you were supposed to do your big board
I didn't
gossip.
take off. I couldn't go out. No.
Tomato. You decided not to show up.
Dude, I had third-degree burns on my dick and ass. No, the hospital said you literally have to spend the next 24 to 48 hours taking these milk baths. I told Westside, put the small TV, the bedroom TV, in the bathroom because I'm just going to sit there all fucking day and watch television in the goddamn milk bath. This sucked. This wasn't a fun thing, so I wasn't taking off to avoid the board gossip thing. Go ahead.
All I was saying was you decided not to show up to do your big board gossip.
I know, but you're saying I didn't show up, making me sound like a fucking asshole.
Yeah, no,
Dave, man, you were on the IR, injured
no.
reserve.
The great coach, Herb Brooks, once said, "Last time I checked, the dick hole's a long way from the heart."
Herb Brooks said that?
Yeah, verbatim.
The coach of the 1980 men's
Miracle-
Olympic hockey team.
Oh,
who beat the Russians.
Oh, Callahan, you still bitching about your dick hole? Last time I checked, dick hole's a hell of a long way from the heart. But
I never recalled Kurt Russell saying that in Miracle.
I'm telling you,
I
it's a
got to
quote.
rewatch Miracle
It's a
because
much better
I
movie
don't
than you
recall
thought.
Kurt Russell talking about dick holes in that movie.
So while you were at home, were you rallying the message boards?
Are you fucking insane? Rallying the message boards for what? To vote for me?
The big vote. One of the
No, I was in a bathtub full of milk, having the most miserable time of my life for fucking 48 hours. That's where I was.
Okay, just a couple callers thought maybe that's why you stayed home to rally the message boards troops.
Who are these callers? I need to know.
I don't remember their names.
This is 2007?
Yeah,
16 years ago.
17.
17 years ago. No, 16.
Yeah, you're right. January will be the 17th anniversary.
Let me tell you something. Once I find out who those callers were, I'm blocking you all on Twitter.
Why? They just thought you were staying home. I thought you were staying
To pull
home.
a fucking asshole move like rallying the message boards to get stunts, to get votes, I would never miss work for that. I never missed Ron and Fez work, ever, except for very, very serious injury or health, a health issue. Pericarditis is what I got in my heart, which is infection of the heart. It was almost fatal for Bob Dylan.
Yeah,
It was
shot through
nearly
the heart,
fatal
and you're
for
to
me.
blame.
And this is one of those incidents. It's a dick and ass on fire. Come on,
All
baby.
right, so Davey's enjoying his 3-day weekend, rallying the message board troops.
I hate you.
But genuinely, so Ron sets it up that you're not there. He goes to board gossip a couple of times and plays the song. He's like, all right, Dave, let's hear it. Fez has
I didn't
your
listen
back.
to the show that day, I don't think.
You called in at one point.
I did.
You did call in.
But I might have been under the influence of prescription drugs, don't forget.
That's entirely possible. Yeah. But Fez has your back. He's like, I don't think this is fair. We shouldn't do it without Dave.
Well, that's
and
nice. I
Ron
love Fez.
keeps going, all right, go ahead, Dave. And you don't do anything. Then Ron asks if he thinks the vote should happen. He asks Fez, who goes, well, I mean, I think you should get to do it, but if he's not here, we got to do it. And then Ron asks Earl, and Earl goes, no, I think we should let Dave be here to defend himself. And it's the first time we hear Earl contradict Ron. And I got to ask, is that the indicator that this is a work? Like, at that point, if I'm a listener of Ron and Fez, should I know right away that it's a work if Earl agrees with Ron?
Damn,
or disagrees with Ron?
Wow! Now we're talking! This is why you listen to Tales from the Satellite. Because I never, ever, ever thought about that. But straight up, as a baseball player and someone who knows when you look down third baseline for the third base coach and they have all the signs, people don't realize. It's not a big deal. There's one indicator sign. So if it's the nose, then the first thing that happens right after the nose is what you do. So the guy's doing this. Don't even look. He does the nose. Whatever he touches after the nose is what you're going to do. Is hit and run, steal, so on and so forth. And you know what? I think that's it.
That might have been the indicator of the work, huh?
I mean, even to this present day, I think that's a really solid point that I've never thought about in my life on my own. But no doubt he was working. Okay. No doubt he was working because he wouldn't
have had your back.
No. What logic would that make?
Makes no sense, right?
I wonder. So, in my opinion, now don't forget, Robert, I don't 100% know, but I can tell you this. Knowing the show and knowing I was there at the time, 99% Earl's working right there.
Okay.
And because you were 100% right, he wouldn't disagree with Ron, but especially in that situation, that scenario. Right. And like the fact that with the hospital and this and that, things had gotten a little bit serious. I don't think Earl would, that wouldn't have been Earl's response had it not been a work.
Earl took his beating for going to the hospital and being a pussy. Like, obviously, that's where I got all the details of what happened because Ron wasn't happy. So maybe he was just trying to get on Ron's good side, or maybe the work.
He disagreed with Ron, you said.
He disagreed. That's a good point. But in the sense of getting the vote to continue on, maybe. Like, because if Earl says it should stop, then the vote's going to happen.
Yeah, right.
You know, that might have been the work. It may not have been the whole work reveal there. But so they agree the vote's going to happen. Now, Ron kind of creates the atmosphere of what's going on. So if you go on the message boards, Frenchie calls in at one point, and apparently there are a bunch of nude girls on there all trying to rally to save Dave. I guess Frenchie posted a picture.
By the way, we should mention, rest in peace, Frenchie.
Rest in peace to Frenchie,
Yes. She passed away, one of the Ron and Fez members. It's very sad. Too many wonderful, wonderful people have passed away, so we miss her. Frenchie, Frenchie.
I guess you described it as a fishnet top, is what she posted in, where you could see her nice nipples, and then she calls in and goes,
"Yeah,
well." So if you ever get that picture, just pass it along.
Oh, I remember that picture very well, but that picture is long gone, but I remember that picture very well. That was a nice picture. I was surprised that there were any women trying to keep Eastside Dave. Any women at all. This fucking thing with Frenchie and the other Pal Talk gals,
even Happy
this
Type
shocked me.
Girl was getting down.
Yeah, but I was like really, really shocked. I didn't know why that was. I was not necessarily, I don't know. I just didn't feel like I was a big Pal Talk person, nor a hit on Pal Talk.
Well, did you feel like a rock star? Like, it had to be kind of cool. All these girls are getting naked to keep you around. All the people are calling in to support you. Yeah, that had to be a pretty cool feeling. While you're sitting there in a tub full of milk, not able to,
That day I felt great. I really felt good. But, again, more of a pleasant surprise with that day.
So the show's going on. Ron teases the vote's going to happen later in the day. He also teases one of my favorite Fez Whatley segments. Fez Whatley's worst dressed list of XM radio. Do you remember this at all?
Awesome.
One
I
of
love
my
this.
favorite
Well, it
Fez
was
bits.
Fez Whatley doing Mr. Blackwell, who was a fashion gentleman, who was, he had flair, he had flamboyance, and he would just fucking destroy celebrities and whatnot who he didn't think dressed appropriately, and Fez just basically took it, but made it his own, and it was fantastic.
And made it
I
about
loved
people
it.
he had to see every day.
Yeah, so good.
One of my favorite lines is there were 3 girls on radio show, and one of them was like, shoulder pads are out, but I get it because you have to carry the other 2 dumb bitches. It's like, oh my God, Fez, you have to see these people every day.
Man, I forget Fez Blackwell. That was a classic bit.
It was amazing.
Because we all know Fezatorials, and we all know Ric Flair.
Yeah.
But the Fez Blackwell thing was great.
And it comes up in several different
Oh
of these
my
because
God, I
it's that
love
time
that.
of year.
Yeah.
That was the peak of Daveness. And that's the way to go out. Like a fucking hero. God knows if I had to do over again, I'd have set you on the street in fucking 94. But, we didn't know you peaked then. Hey. Exactly. When you used to do that with a lot more consistency, like every time that you would say that, we'd all laugh. Those were the days.
But see, here's the thing. Dave was supposed to do his board gossip to get voted out.
Right. Go ahead, Dave. Do it.
Razzle dazzle. It's board gossip with Eastside Dave.
A little gossip, a little chat, a little idle talk of this and that. Go ahead, you have your opportunity, Dave. Uh-oh, he's not here.
No, Eastside Dave today.
Yeah, he fucked up. Today was the day to save yourself, Dave. Today was a big day. Coming up in just a couple of minutes, Fez Whatley will read off his worst dressed people of XM.
Yep, it's that time of year. Mr. Blackwell's worst dressed list comes out, and so does Mr. Whatley's.
Yeah. Jennifer, you're on Fez.
Hey, Ron.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm about to leave the country, and it was just really a sudden decision, but, I support Dave. He does everything that
Honey, I'm sorry. We're about to go into Mr. Whatley and his worst dress list. Do me a favor, call back later, all right?
All right, thanks.
We don't have time to count her absentee vote?
No, we're setting things up now for Mr. Whatley's worst dress list. Who doesn't like that, Fez?
I love it. I look forward to this time of year.
Well, it's the only thing you do well. So once a year, Fez Whatley, he goes front and center, and off he goes.
I do other things.
Well, like what?
I'm not sure, but I'll think of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's Mr. Whatley's worst dressed of XM satellite radio. This year, coming in at number 5, XM Comedy's Sonny Fox. Sonny, Sonny, Sonny. Open up your closet and see what the real joke at XM Comedy 150 is. The man with the flowered shirts who comes to work every day dressed like a Rose Bowl parade float. Sonny, you look like a rainforest wearing sunglasses. Obviously, this Hawaiian-shirted hack hippie of humor has hijacked his haggard hand-me-downs from a Haitian haberdasher. I guess he feels his tropical shirts are the perfect camouflage when he's stealing the creamers from the coffee room. I don't know about XM Comedy, but at least Sonny's wardrobe is causing lots of lunchroom laughs. Number 4 on Mr. Whatley's worst dress list of XM satellite radio. XM Chief Programming Officer, Lee Abrams, the creative force behind XM. Lee is known as Mr. Rock. Bedrock, that is. He's the Fred Flintstone of fashion going into a board meeting. I'd like to present Lee with another gold record for his office, for over 500,000 bad outfits worn. Yes, Lee loves music. He must. He dresses like a plus-size Poison. He's where XM meets XL. This Radio Rebels reefer-reeking recycled rock rags have really reached rock bottom. And Lee, one final tip. A 70s porn mustache should never be considered a fashion accessory. Number 3 on Mr. Whatley's worst dressed list of XM satellite radio. Executive Vice President of Programming, ELO Eric Logan. Well, guess what? The devil does wear Prada, and he's in charge of XM satellite radio. From the haircut to the pink tie and pinstripes, ELO dresses like a less masculine Clay Aiken. This prince of pastels with his pathetic page boy parades his pitiful pantsuits like a Partridge Family parody. Side note, Eric's also a pal talker who just wants to be one of the boys. Then maybe he should start dressing like one. Number 2 on Mr. Watley's worst dressed list of XM Satellite Radio. For the first time ever, a 3-way tie for second place. The Broads from Broad-Minded, Christine, Molly, and Sherry from Take 5 on XM 155. It's 3 girls with a show in 4 different directions, and not a natural blonde among them. One thing Christine should wear is a watch, then maybe she'd be on time for work. This single mom man-hater manages to dress like a marked-down madam. Molly's never without her sunglasses, sort of like Paris Hilton, but without all the restraint and class. She's a horror show in heels who's ready for Halloween from head to toe. And then there's Sherry. The big shoulder pad look is out, but I understand. It's from carrying those other 2. Sherry loves true crime. Well, consider the case of the hideous wardrobe solved. Shoddy shirts and shabby shoes shoplifted from a sharecropper. Shameful, Sherry. Shameful. A little advice for the broads. What you should be wearing is some peroxide on the roots. And finally, the number 1 person on Mr. Watley's worst dress of XM Satellite Radio. For the second year in a row, Program Director Don Wiki Wicklin. Wiki started the new year by getting married again. He now has more wives than disco shirts. The only problem is, he keeps the disco shirts. I know it was a Vegas wedding, but why dress as loud as a slot machine? Apparently this Liberace look-alike lifted his low-cut laundry from Lance Bass. Honeymoon in Vegas? Shop at Siegfried and Roy's yard sale. Once again, Dapper Don's decorative duds dazzle and defy decency while delivering delight to the mentally disabled. Congratulations, Wiki. You're number 1 on Mr. Watley's worst dress of XM Satellite Radio.
Well, nice job on the enunciation, at least, Fez.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Alliteration doesn't work so well sometimes.
Yeah.
But I think I nailed it.
Yeah, you nailed it. All right, 866-RON-0-FEZ. 866-RON-0-FEZ. Jay, you're on Ron Fez.
Fezzy.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
Great Fezatorial, Fez.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That wasn't a Fezatorial. That was Mr. Watley's worst dress.
So several people try to call in before. One guy just doesn't know if he'll be able to call back later, but he wants to get rid of you, so Ron accepts him. One guy's about to go in for open heart chest surgery, and he wants to save you, and Ron goes, sorry, no absentee ballots. And that process can happens 3 or 4 times. One person calls right when Fez is about to go, and is like, I'd like to vote for Dave. And Ron's like, I'd let you, but it's time for Fez Watley's worst dress. So then Fez does his list, and the vote happens. You get out to a slow start because you're already down 3-0 from the absentee ballots. You jump down to 5-0. You rally back, gets to 10-10.
I know. I actually had an amazing comeback, and
the
quite
final?
frankly was, I think if this thing was on the up and up, I would have won. I would have not gotten voted off.
Oh, absolutely. Especially given the fact that it's 10-10, the caller calls in and votes to keep Dave.
Oh, really?
So 11-10, we learned Eastside Dave's getting to say.
Woo-hoo!
And that's the end of the Midnight Rider saga. We'll check in next time. Thanks for tuning in, radio. No. You celebrate for a little bit, and then a caller calls in and goes, Ron, you said yesterday, thanks to King of the Sting, you're taking away 3 votes. So Dave actually is out of here already. Fez points out, no, they were given back on FM. And Ron goes, fine. Dave can stay on FM then. On XM, he's out of here. And that is how we lose.
Fucking amazing. Because I was never the rider on 92.3 K-Rock.
Oh, you always say
Never
Eastside
was.
Dave, yeah.
I was always Eastside Dave. And I almost feel like Ron and Fez just came up with that on their own. I mean, like, right then and there. Like, that, to me, feels like something that they just came up with the rules. But those are great, fun rules, because now I got to be Eastside
two different
Dave
people, yeah.
on K-Rock while the rider's over on Satellite.
Yeah.
Damn, that's funny.
And a bunch of people call in, and Ron's kind of being tongue-in-cheek, like, no, those are the rules. And Fezzi's
I love
like,
it.
those are the rules.
As a wiffle ball player and a wiffle ball league commissioner, I'm a stickler for the rules. So I'm sorry, I agree with Ron and Fez here. Fuck Davey Mac. Them's the rules.
The show ends with you gone. The next day, Happy Typing Girl calls in. She's like, is there anything we can do? You're fired. Yeah, you're gone. You come in that Monday, and you are cleaning out your office.
Did I have to give a speech?
You did. And we'll get to that
Okay,
one second.
okay,
But before
okay,
you got to that
Don't skip
point,
ahead.
you're kind of cleaning up. I'm trying to not phrase this the way Jared did because it didn't sound right. But it really shows the level of rube some fans are in the opening part of the show.
Or the level of worker Davey Mac is.
Davey Mac did. But
I came in literally like I was getting fired, and every single person in both offices totally bought it. Don't forget, I didn't tell one single person on O&A staff I wouldn't trust them for shit.
No.
So they all thought
that
the
you were
way
gone.
and this is off the air. Off the air. They bought it hook, line, sinker. And if anyone tells you different, they're fucking lying.
Absolutely. And the way you sold it was great, especially the speeches you gave and all that. But before that even, the fans are calling in, and they keep trying to convince Ron that he got the voting wrong. And it's like, at this point, have you not listened to Ron and Fez long enough to know the vote's over?
Robert,
there's no change in their answers.
You're wrong. What I'm telling you is, I mean, you are right in what you're saying, but what the reason why is because people didn't feel like this was work at all.
Absolutely.
That's why the callers were saying, hey, because all of a sudden people thought, holy shit, this guy's getting fired and he kind of didn't deserve it. Also, he just got hot sauce poured on his dick and ass. So
absolutely. But the way I was saying it is like Ron and Fez were very good at making you think when people quit the show it was real.
I know.
So
I know.
like when Al Dukes lost the fight, he was gone. There was no keeping Dukes, even though he put up a good. So the fact that they thought they could persuade Ron to change his mind to keep you around.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Is what I was saying. The funniness of it was for me. Like, come on, Ron. You know you said this. No, I didn't.
Yeah, there was no. You're not going to get Ron to all of a sudden not fire someone.
You exactly. Yeah.
John, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, Ronnie, bro, you fucked up. It wasn't a vote to 11. It was 11 votes to keep Dave, 9 votes to lose him. You took a vote away from him yesterday, and you reached 9 negative before you reached 11 positive. Dave is fucking gone.
You know what? That is true.
No, you changed that on the FM show.
No, wait a minute. How did the votes go? It went to what?
The votes went to 11.
Yeah.
No, it was 11 to keep, 9 to lose him. You took a vote away from Dave yesterday because he said something like an asshole, and you took.
That's
a vote
right.
away. That's right.
He is out.
No, he's not out.
He had 2 votes against him yesterday.
He's not out.
Right.
You gave him those votes back.
Do me a favor.
What about the rest of us? Fuck that. He's gone.
He's 100% right, Fezzy. When you have a contest, you have to have some kind of rules to it. We had rules.
No.
He had 2 votes against him because of, what was that guy's name?
King of the Thing.
King of the Thing, thank you. King of the Thing already had him down 2-0. Then there was the 3 absentee votes, and then the rest of the votes. Dave is out.
No,
he's out.
He's not out because you gave him those votes back last night on our Free FM show.
Yeah, for Free FM he has them, not for XM. Free FM, yes, he has them.
Well, I don't think he knew that.
XM, he's gone. All right, nice. Thank you very much.
No
you know what? I'm
problem,
going to send
guys.
you to the big-ass prize closet.
Ah, very nice.
Help yourself.
He shouldn't get anything. He's wrong.
And I'm voting for Dave.
He's going to get the Doors box set Perception, which contains all 6 of their studio albums, bonus tracks, and DVDs of live performances, thanks to Rhino Entertainment. Check it out at rhino.com.
I don't have one of those either. And you know what? Maybe I'll throw in the Toot's Shore ashtray.
Don't give away your Toot Shore ashtray.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Dave is gone. Polo?
I'm still voting for Dave.
All right. You and your girlfriend, you have votes down there, and he can stay at your house for a while.
My favorite was at one point a guy goes, I called in and voted yes. And Ron goes, what was your name? And the guy goes, you didn't count. And he goes, no, what was your name? And the guy gives his name. He goes, oh, no, you're in here. We counted you. And just hangs up on him. So then you do come in with a box full of shit that you're ready to take home, and you give a concession speech.
One of the greatest speeches of all time.
One of the most amazing speeches of all time.
Now, this speech is why people to this day, it's always the speech, and it's the Me and Fez pizza incident, which, by the way, check out in the archives. I believe, what was that, episode 1, Robert?
It was the very first episode we did together.
It's always this speech with the writer, and it's always the Me and Fez pizza incident where people are like, oh, man, you know, he's like, people don't believe that I can fucking work. They think everything I do is like, there's no way. He's a fucking asshole. There's no way he could pull that off. This is a perfect example of me pulling something off, and I'm going to tell you exactly why. One of my closest friends at the time, and I still love him, I don't know what he's doing right now, was classic RonandFez.net moderator Mikey Boy. Wonderful human being. Love Mikey Boy. Spent so many days, Ron and Fez events, bar nines with Mikey Boy. He's wonderful. Okay? Mikey fucking emailed me and texted me. And it was the most serious thing of all time. He said, I'm really heartbroken about this, and I want you to know that you are the greatest. He did qualify it, by the way. On-air producer of all time, where I felt like I'm the greatest producer of all time. But that's fine. He said, because you know what? I'm an on-air superstar to this very day, since I'm a morning radio host on FM and sports host and successful sports host, successful wrestling host, successful movie host, successful radio satellite podcast host. But nevertheless, Mikey says, I think you're the best of all time. I think you're the best on-air producer of all time, and I'm really, really sad about this, and I'm very upset. And just know, Davey Mac, I'll follow your career wherever you go next. Aww. That's what he said.
That's so sweet.
I know. He bought it hook, line, sinker. So for the fucking assholes who never believe that I fucking work people, I work you all the time.
Now, does Mikey Boy subscribe to the Patreon?
It's a question for Mikey Boy.
So it turns out that was a fucking lie, huh? I'll support you wherever you go, unless it's Patreon.
No, he did support me where I went next. It was just it was the Ron Fez Show is where I went next.
Fair enough. Mikey Boy, subscribe.
Mikey Boy, seriously, subscribe. You'll love this.
You'll love it. It's great. We'll even have you on one episode.
Ooh, that would be fun.
So another thing that happened during the call-in was Paul O was on the phone with Gail in the background, and he was trying to get both of them.
Gail O.
Actually, it may have been the new Melly. It may have been Melly at this point.
Okay.
But either way, one of them. And they try to vote for you. It doesn't work.
That was still Gail O, I think.
Paul O seems to have your back, which is weird because we talked last time. Paul O kind of felt like you were squeezing his role. Like he was the drinking guy. He was the guy who went to the hospital for stunts. In Florida. But so it was cool to see him be like, no. You need a guy like that.
Because I like Paul O.
Yeah, it was cool.
I know, but I keep telling you, I think that you feel like me and Paul O had some kind of beef. We never did. I like Paul O.
I don't think Paul O had a beef with anybody. Me. I just think he lived his life and people like came in and went. Like nobody affected Paul O. He was in his own world. Yeah. But I just thought it was cool that he was like, no, you got to keep Dave around.
I love Paul O so much.
He got worked as well.
Of course, Paul O, the director of Gap, made me the star of that film. I should have been in more than the opening scene, quite frankly. But then I think, you know what? I'm kind of like, what was that chick? Janet Leigh in Psycho, where she was the big star and everyone thought she was going to live to the end, but she gets stabbed in the shower. So that's kind of me. I'm the big star. Or Drew Barrymore at the beginning of Scream.
I was about to say that. I just didn't want to call you Drew Barrymore.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're a much better actress. You can work her.
I feel that way.
Yeah, you would have been much better in E.T.
Right?
Yeah, what a dumb bitch. Anyway.
E.T., I love you. You know, whatever. I guess that's more of an E.T. impression than a little kid.
I think you should
Actually,
play all
maybe
the
I
roles.
wouldn't have been very good.
No, yeah, it turns out you're just not a good kid actor.
Apparently, as a child human actor, I would have been doing an E.T. impression in E.T.
Which would have been rough.
I love you so much, E.T. Don't go. Get on my handlebars. or my basket, whatever the fucking bike had.
Speaking of sad going homes, do you remember your speech?
No, I do not. That's why I'm looking forward to the audio there.
Well, we will fill it in here, and we will be right back after this brief commercial break.
You know, I already put up with Gail O today, and that's plenty for me.
I know, but I felt like can I have at least this for closure, please?
How many people have done this? Didn't Al come back to say goodbye?
Yeah, Al.
Harry T did not.
No, Harry T, we never saw him again once he went on his walkabout or whatever he called it.
Billy Staples came back for a goodbye.
Yeah, he did that.
And I think I could maybe, if you were very nice, could you allow me this opportunity? Please.
How long is your statement? You got a long statement? Some people you want to thank?
Yeah, it's people I want to thank. It's just it's a few words about it's the amazing thing about this is it's basically almost exactly 1 year. I had exactly 1 year with you.
When did you start with us?
Officially on the books, January 20th, 2006.
Wow, you just missed a year.
Yeah. What's today's date?
Today is what, the 16th?
16th. Yeah.
That is weird. That is weird. Hey, seriously, all kidding aside, thanks for a great year.
All right, may I please read my letter or my statement?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, you can.
Thank you. Okay. Over 5.5 years ago, I heard a show in the wee hours of the night. It was called the Ron Fez Show. From that day, I knew I had but one dream, to work for that radio show. I went back to school at the ripe age of 24 and got a degree in communications. 3 radio jobs and 1 hot dog cart stint later, and my dream was realized. On January 20th, 2006, I became a full-fledged employee of the Ron Fez Show. Merely a year later, I must resign. This past year has been one of ups and downs, but mainly ups. My puppet and I met David Blaine. Because of this show, I was able to see the White House in Washington, D.C. for the first time because of Ron Fez, and I completed a power hour, my personal favorite highlight. The few setbacks that took place, having to cover up for Earl on many times, messing up on the board when Robert Randolph was in and having him see me punch myself in the face, and having hot sauce burn my head, ass, and genitals, were not enough to diminish the love I still have for this show. Rod Beddington is a mentor similar to all the greats. Vince Lombardi, Joe Torre, and Red Auerbach. He may demand excellence, but that is only because he believes you are capable of it. I only hope I was somewhat excellent in his eyes. Fez Whatley is a shining beacon of strength. To come back from a heart attack and still give it his all, day in and day out, puts even Ric Flair in his place. It is Fez, not Flair, who is the best thing going today. I'd like to thank RonFez.net for their mainly positive support, minus a few newbie detractors who clearly do not understand the radio business. I feel sorry that these newbies sometimes taint an otherwise lovely website, but I still extend a hand of friendship to my friends there. They have given me so much. A Nintendo DS, a Guns N' Roses bootleg, and most recently a Get Well card. Thank you, RonFez.net. I'd like to say thank you to FBA. My love, my passion. They say you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but FBA taught this internet old dog new tricks. How to have fun on message boards again. Having my moderatorship was the third best thing that happened to me this year, outside of actually getting a job and meeting David Blaine. I feel I would be an imposter to keep this title, so as of today I've formally resigned my moderatorship at FBA as well. Good night, my beauty. I also like to thank Whackbag. Yeah, it's true. Some would say, why would I thank a website that was the cause of such stress? Well, the answer is simple. They inspired me to be the best producer in the business, and I think I was, damn it. For one shining year of 2006, the producer who laid it all on the line, who took the beatings and drank the 61 shots. Muhammad Ali needed his Joe Frazier. Maybe I need my Whackbag. So I thank you. And to posttours.net, I really don't know much about you, but this is a time of thanking people, so you made the list. Working for the Ron Fez Show is more intense than any job I've ever had, be it delivering flowers, bar backing, or cleaning the floor at the butcher's. In the end, however, it is intensely fun, an experience that I treasure all the time. That I hate to see end. But a vote's a vote. I was never one to stand in the way of democracy, and I ain't starting now. Friday, January 12th, 2007, the day democracy shit on my face. So I formally resigned from the Ron Fez Show and XM. My journey has come to an end. I'd like to thank Ron and Fez and everyone at XM, including Don Wicklund, for employment. I'd like to say to those of you at home, keep your dreams alive, even if they get taken away from you one day. I leave you now in eternal glory. Signed, David D. McDonald, Tuesday, January 16th, 2007.
That was very nice, Dave.
It was very well put.
Take care, buddy. Take care.
Okay. That's all. I wanted you to say that, and I meant every second of it.
There he goes, Fez. The all-Floyd class act.
There you go.
Definitely a class act.
I appreciate that part of it.
I'd also like to ask if I can take the bottled water signed by Terry Gilliam.
Help yourself. All right? That's a little memento.
Is that thing still sitting back there? Yeah, please, take it.
Actually put it in my box already.
Sure. See you later, Dave.
All right.
There he goes, Eastside Dave. Now part of the Formers.
I'm going to miss the guy. I mean, really, I know that he was, the way people felt about him went up and down, but fucking nothing but heart.
Yeah, and a really nice guy. Maybe not always on the ball, but always meant well,
Absolutely. Hard worker.
Sweetheart is what he was.
You imagine if we had somebody with fucking Earl Smart's, yet Dave's fucking drive? We'd have a producer then.
We would have one full producer instead of two halves.
I watched Comet McNabb as it raced with the sun. A friend drove up and told me he said Dave was done. He'd been choked out as by Backlund and then burned by a star. Watched the comet, drank some water, XM played in the car. Take everything you feel and just let it go free. Look deeper and deeper till there's nothing to see. If you're angry or frightened, you just wanna die, follow Comet McNabb, shoot that shit to the sky. They tried to save him with a vengeance down at FBA. If naked typing girls can't do it well, I won't try Big A. Sad, sad, he's got his hat in his hand. The hot sauce leaking on his hot dog stand. Razzle dazzle, who could it be? The cowbell tolls the last time, and it tolls for thee. Do not go gentle into that good night. Rage against the dying of the light. You might be mistaken or get your facts wrong, but it's up beautiful thing to not know what's going on. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. You're Carmen McDonald, now shoot that shit through the night.
And we are back. I hope you enjoyed Comet McDonald by Sherwin Sleeves.
Oh, my God. Sleeves, what a genius he is. And what an episode this has been, baby. I am surprised at all the controversy, all of the fun.
Yeah.
I'm surprised at some of the stories that I really have not thought about until just now.
Big news during the break. I got a phone call, and in addition to, what was it, questions from the satellite?
Tales from the Q&A.
Tales from the Q&A.
That's going to be the new spinoff show for patreon.com/EastsideDave, $5 tier.
Big breaking news.
Yes.
Another spinoff from Tales from the Satellite. It's called Tales of He Do Be Doing That, Earl. Where Earl and I just go, yeah, Dave does do that to us sometimes. We do have a real good plan, and he just no. So Earl and I will just be sitting there where we tell the stories, and I go, I get it, Earl. I get where you're coming from, buddy.
Oh, during the break, I switched everything up on these guys, on all three of the producers.
So it'll be me and Earl.
But in doing so, I've made this show a lot better, folks.
Oh, 100%.
Yes.
We were, much like Earl Douglas, without direction, just floundering, and you kind of took
we're not floundering. This is a phenomenal episode, but this is a Midnight Rider origin story.
Prelude.
And this is episode 13. Exactly. This is the prelude. This is the prologue, whatever you want to call it. This is the origin story. And because obviously this has been, heavy and really fun and entertaining and important, necessary actually, to tell the story of the rider, all of this has been necessary. So in order to do that, though, we want to give you some rider. We're going to be doing another Midnight Rider part. We're going to just continue this for episode 14, okay, in 2 weeks. So the Rider Saga will continue. Again, we're looking at 40 hours of the Midnight Rider Saga on YouTube. So, there's a lot there. We're going to be breaking up in parts. We didn't want to give you 8 parts in a row. But we will give you 2 parts in a row. This episode, that part, and then whoever knows.
Now, David, if people really are enjoying this, what's a good way for them to send a message?
Oh, man. You can email us at davymacshows@gmail.com. That's davymacshows@gmail.com. If you have a question, please ask your question. We might use it for Davey Mac's Tales from the Q&A. Or right here.
Yeah, or we could use it right here. Or another way to show some support and love for the rider in particular, just head on over to silkcityhotsauce.com and use that promo code RIDER.
Silk City Hot Sauce. Use the promo code RIDER, RIDER. And we thank Silk City Hot Sauce for your fantastic sponsorship.
Now, you may go on there and you'll see, like I said, some sauces for comedians. The way they do it and the way Jeff decides who gets a hot sauce next is based on the people who have interest. So if a bunch of people go on there and use the promo code RIDER,
folks,
we could be looking at a Midnight Rider hot sauce down the road.
On, baby. Folks, did you see the painting I put behind me? Did you see this? That is the Midnight Rider. Now, we could get the Midnight Rider on one of these Silk City hot sauce bottles here. You got to go over to silkcityhotsauce.com and start buying the hot sauce left and right. Okay, use that promo code RIDER, RIDER.
It may save you $5. It may get you something extra. You never know what you're going to get when you use the promo code RIDER. Kind of like the Midnight Rider himself. So you give your great concession speech. It was great. It's literally, like you said, one of the pinnacle moments of East Side Dave.
I fooled Mikey Boy in terms of, and tons and tons and tons and tons of in Ron Fez audience and
the first time
radio
I was
listeners.
listening through it, I thought this is when Dave left the show.
Again, I point out that there are people who constantly say, "Oh, Dave doesn't work anyone." Dave does. If Dave was really that good when he smashed Fez's face into pizza, he'd be in Hollywood. Well, okay, this is how you know I was working you.
Yeah,
you know I was working you on this one. And everyone fucking bought it, pal. Everyone.
Everybody knows the only reason you're not in Hollywood is you're anti-pedophilia.
I'm anti-Hollywood. I don't want to go to California. Smog.
They don't know how to party.
Well, it's just, I've been to L.A. a couple times. You can't breathe over there.
Yeah, that's why me and Kanye say no more parties in L.A.
You and fucking Kanye.
I wish we would hang
assholes.
out. So you give your speech, they go to a break, and then the callers call in and start kind of paying tribute to you through haikus.
Isn't that nice?
They really weren't.
I fancy myself as a poet.
Oh, is that why? Because you would write. I was curious where the idea of haikus came from, and honestly, they were kind of mean. It was kind of funny. Mean. It was very fun. You could tell the audience was doing almost a caller pyramid at this point about it.
Oh,
with the haikus
on me.
Haikus about you mocking you leaving.
Making fun.
Some were though, but some were also kind of like, I'm gonna miss him. Like it was more like, think of all the stupid stuff we won't see anymore. It was complimentary while mocking at the same time. It was what you would want as a tribute from the Ron Fez Show. Now, you leave the show that day.
I'm done, Robert.
You're still out on FM,
fired.
as we know. You were fired.
Fired from satellite on 92.3. A tearful goodbye. And I'm going to tell you something, Robert. This is why I fooled people. I got tears. Now, how many motherfuckers can say they can get tears? Tears. My speech that you fucking saw or heard where I'm leaving and resigning, saying I'm done with the Ron Fez Show on XM Satellite Radio. Tears. Come on, baby.
Yeah, it's one of the best moments of radio of all time.
No one can do that.
It was truly incredible.
Show me one fucking producer who can do that in the universe or who has done that, who has worked people to the point of tears, and everyone bought it hook, line, sinker. No one.
I mean,
I'm the best.
I'm a producer, and I've worked a number of people in my life to tears, but not out of acting. Yeah, just out of being in their life. Yeah.
No, that's just by your own actions.
Yeah, I'm not a good human being.
Your own real life actions. It's got nothing to do with performance, entertainment, or working someone over.
Sometimes my lack of actions, or my penises.
Okay.
Erectile dysfunction. Oh. Anyway, we're back on your story. So you leave. They give their haikus. It's honestly a lot of fun. And I got to ask you, at what point, Dave, did you come up with the idea to go into the Midnight Rider now that you're gone?
This is Ron's idea, I believe.
Okay.
Fez was the Dusty Rhodes fan, though.
So Fez knew the character.
So I don't know.
The reason
I can't remember if it was Ron or Fez's idea. It was not mine
because
because I was not a. It's not that I wasn't a Dusty Rhodes fan. I was familiar with Dusty Rhodes, but Dusty Rhodes was in the generation previous to me.
Yeah, he was an older character,
right.
Particularly
I
this
was a Piper guy and shit like that. But it was a Dusty Rhodes thing where Dusty Rhodes, the professional wrestler who had the most distinct body of all time, he only looked like Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah.
He was a 300-pound fat man with blonde hair, and just everyone could tell it was Dusty Rhodes. And, he did some shit, and he said, he's done, he's gone, he's leaving the league. And then he showed up the next week later with the fucking Midnight Rider costume.
Which is great.
They also did that in WWE.
Oh, yeah.
I guess they ripped off Dusty, of all things. And, again, it was also funny. Andre the Giant had gotten fired or some shit. And what they did was they put Andre the Giant in a luchador mask and said he was in a tag team called the Machines.
Equally funny.
Yes.
Ironically, the Machine, Burt Kreischer, you saw him naked at the start of this episode.
Look at that.
Bringing it home.
So that's the deal there. I did not know a lot about Dusty, but Ron and Fez definitely did. So it was one of Ron and Fez's ideas.
So it was one of their ideas. Now, we've talked about this before. Prior to the Midnight Rider, your role and how you viewed your role on the Ron and Fez Show was as a heel or the foil.
Oh, that's a great question.
If Ron said something, you were kind of the opposite. You took You could say playing devil's advocate, but
me.
Yeah, you in particular.
Wait, so are you saying that I had the audacity, but also the courage to perhaps take an opposing side to Ron Bennington?
Not yes, you definitely had the courage to do that. But
A lot of times?
I would say we said you were about 11 months in at this point. You weren't even there a full year.
No, if this is 2007, I got to correct you guys in your math. I started in December of 2005. So you said it's 2007.
Maybe I'm... Okay, so you were a year and a half in. Maybe it was
not a year and a half, but basically almost a year.
Almost a year.
Yeah, I mean, just a year, basically.
Just a year. Okay,
we'll
say just a year.
We'll say a year.
Okay, just around a year.
Yeah.
But you've spoken before. You viewed no producer in radio was a heel. Like, intentionally. Walked in there to be the guy who created. And you kind of set that precedent and set that as your goal.
Who are my heroes?
Oh, absolutely.
Roddy Piper?
Me.
You?
Yeah, I thought I was your hero.
No! Roddy Piper? Darth Vader?
Jesus Christ.
Emperor Palpatine? Leatherface?
The New York Knicks.
All heels is what I'm saying. I like the heels in life, you know?
Yeah, and you did it incredibly well. The boards didn't like you, but liked the fact that they were able to not like you.
Yeah, exactly. I knew exactly what I was doing.
From the Midnight Rider, if you look at your career following that, you kind of pivoted into the babyface.
Yeah.
Was this done intentionally to reset your opinion? And do you feel like the Rider was so successful and people loved it so much that it kind of forced... Like sometimes you'll see in WWE a character gets so popular that he's forced to turn babyface. Is that what happened there?
Yeah, it's the latter. Ron, Fez, myself, no one could give a shit whether I was heel or babyface. So no one would make a concerted effort to be like, we have to turn Dave babyface. Listen, we did a lot of wrestling. And a lot of wrestling's akin to this, and there's certainly parallels. But there was that is a wrestling thing in terms of we should turn that guy babyface because that's our new next champion, blah, blah, blah. Like, there's a logical reason for that. We didn't give a shit. But you are right. For whatever reason, I think it happened, like, I could sense it with Mikey Boy, like we were just discussing before the break. When he was like really emotional, it was like, man, I'm really upset that you're out of here and stuff, like, or that you're not gonna be on the show anymore and this and that. I was like, oh shit.
It's like when Kobe or Tom Brady retired, the guy everybody loves to hate is gone.
But also in professional wrestling, when you are so good as a heel for a long period of time, you usually get over as a babyface. Yeah. Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Of course.
By the way, during the break, I should have pissed.
You should have pissed.
But
do you have to pee now?
Keep going.
Okay.
But with your next statement, I think I can do it while I'm listening to you.
Yeah, go ahead. Why don't you go pee?
Just look to the left.
So it wasn't just that, but this truly was a career-changing point for you, where you went from being the guy everybody loved to hate to truly loved. And if you think about the context that Fez is just coming back from his first heart attack, we're first seeing the freeze-ups on air. The running theme was Dave takes airtime away from Fez. You could see this as a good opportunity to reset it. Like, no, we like Dave. We want Dave to have airtime because he's going to have to help out Fez. Was there any, as it was going on, like just using it out of convenience?
No.
Okay, good. That was more of a rambling question to cover your pee than anything. But so we get to
no. I mean, yeah, did I spin your eye?
No. No, sorry. I did feel something. Yeah, I did feel something.
As soon as I said no, you went to the eye. No, Fez was like, I feel like dominating, or still really good at this point. No,
this was
great.
First.
I mean, he's always great.
He was always, but. There were signs, like we talked earlier.
There were.
With the Scotland thing where
in 2007.
Ron said, what happened today? And he came in all in a fluster the day that the vote originally comes up. So there were certain...
I always thought that was a lot later.
It may have been that because we know what came later, we're starting to see the signs more prevalent. Like at the time, it might not have been, Fez is having an off day.
Right.
But I was just curious about that. So did Earl know?
About the bit? Yes.
Really? Because then I honestly have to pay Earl a bit of credit here. Because the day that they bring in the new producer, when they're doing the thing to hype him up that there's this new guy, he doesn't have to work with Dave anymore, how excited are you? I bought it hook, line, and sinker.
Well, obviously, he's going to know it's me. He know what I look like.
But you weren't in studio yet. You know, you could have been around for the FM show. I don't, but I'm going to give him a credit. Let me pay Earl a compliment. He sold. He sold. This might be the best acting he did.
He sold for a change.
Other than the line where
this is what the writer did. This is what the writer Saga did.
Well,
it brought the bar up, baby.
I was going to make the joke that the whole thing the writer said was, he was going to just elevate everybody around him, and the ironic thing is he really did. The character really made everybody play better.
I'm literally talking about elevating the bar. Look at that.
Pretty good. So the day of the writers comes in and they say, we've got a new producer. He's going to introduce himself. And do you remember what song they played to introduce you? And who sang it?
Midnight Rider.
Well, obviously, because you're the Midnight Rider.
Willie Nelson.
So the Willie Nelson song gets played a decent amount. And is that the version that Dusty Rhodes used?
Well, I don't know. The writer, I preferred the Allman Brothers.
So this became a huge controversy, not necessarily as much on air. It gets brought up once or twice, but in the fandom of which version of the song was used for the writer. And I think, honestly, what happened was you asked for the Allman Brothers, so when you played it, you played that version, and Earl refused to play that version and only played Willie Nelson.
Earl always gave me the Willie Nelson version. And then when I was in charge, I played the Allman Brothers version.
So it's been a
And by the way, I actually love Willie Nelson. No disrespect. I just fucking love the Allman Brothers version.
The number of arguments this has spurned between me and other Ron and Fez fans, including Jared, who you just got off the phone with. Literally last night we were arguing about it.
All right, so I'll give you, so that's a behind-the-scenes scoop. Earl in charge, Willie Nelson. Davey Mac in charge, Allman Brothers. That's how you know who's in charge of the audio.
That's pretty funny.
Boom.
So you do get introduced, and you just come swinging out the gate. By you, I mean the writer. I'm sorry, I get confused, because normally you're the main character of these stories.
I'm going to, for the purpose of this podcast, now and only now, will I pretend to be the Midnight Rider, and I will talk in first person as him. Sort of like, remember the O.J. Simpson put out a book, and it was If I Did It, but they put the word if like this, and it was quotes, I did it. I did it was this big, and if was like that. So this is going to be if I was the Midnight Rider. If Davey Mac was the Midnight Rider. So, okay,
do you see what just flew out the window?
No.
Kayfabe.
No. I am telling you, this is like the OJ thing. If I was the Midnight Rider, henceforward, going forward, so that it doesn't get boring, if I was the Midnight Rider, go ahead. I will now talk about myself in the first person, if I was him.
So, where throughout this story, up until you getting introduced, Mr. Ryder, did the idea of Dave getting voted off and becoming the Midnight Rider come up? Was it initially when the vote was proposed? Because we could kind of see Ron pushing the vote to get rid of Eastside Dave. Was it once you officially got kicked off, then we had to scramble to keep Dave? Okay, this is an idea we have. And at what point did you know you were going to be the writer, and how much preparation was put into it? Because we see the first day you're on air, you're doing nothing but cutting promos. And some you can tell are probably spontaneous, but most of them seem really crisp.
Most of the stuff is not thought out until the whole, couple days before, hey, this is what you should do, get fired, and then come back as the Midnight Rider like the Dusty Rhodes thing. I actually, here's a scoop for you, was lent by Fez a Dusty Rhodes, I think 2 or 3 disc DVD about Dusty Rhodes. One was a documentary, the next was a bunch of matches, and the third was maybe promos or something. And Fez let me borrow. He actually had a 2 or 3 disc Dusty Rhodes DVD, and he let me borrow it. And once I borrowed that, I watched obviously the shit out of it. I watched the goddamn documentary. I watched the matches. I watched everything.
Clearly the promos.
Definitely the promos. And then once I did that, I go, okay, now we got something. Now I sort of understand what we're doing with this.
That's, by the way, Jared, an archivist, who know we're recording right now, continually texting the fucking group chat. Real Earl Douglases. Go on, Dave. I'm sorry.
No. I'll talk. You should text them. Hey, do you know that we're recording, you fucking assholes?
They'll see it.
No, that actually,
Dave said it.
Ron Fez archivist, you are not. You are not an asshole.
Neither of you guys are. We love you both.
All right.
You're doing great work.
We don't dislike
so
you, Jared.
you watch a bunch of the discs. So you knew that the plan was you should get voted off, and then you were going to become the rider.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That was the plan. Once we, from day one of introducing the vote, I was getting voted off.
Yeah, of course.
And that's why we had to do all these like vote subtractions and shit like that. But that was also really like, I do think, in all honesty, Ron and Fez were a little surprised at the people calling in, being like, "Hey, come on, guys, don't vote him off." Like, hey, you guys are miscounting. I do think that it was supposed to be way more heelish. Way more like, yay, 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 so that when the rider came in, everyone would get pissed off. It actually had the opposite effect. People surprisingly were upset that Davey Mac was getting voted off.
Out of the blue.
I just hit your lav mic.
You're fine. You can just leave that off.
But people were upset. And I think that was a big, that was kind of surprising to people that, okay, he started in December 2005. Here we are, January 2007. He's been a heel all that time. Happily so. Came in idolizing Piper. He was doing his thing. But it seems like he's getting a little over babyface-wise. And that's what the callers revealed with the vote.
Yeah.
So,
which, again, I don't think they saw it being that close to the fact that...
No, I don't think so either.
You can hear disappointment in Ron's voice when the caller votes number 11 to keep you.
Yeah,
I genuinely thought it was going to be,
They thought I was going to get blown out of the water of people saying, get him out off the show. But people recognize that I can do what no one else can, which is I will be that guy. Because everyone else on television, radio, movies, they all want to be the cool guy. They all need to be the cool person. And I'm fucking cool, but I don't have, what's that called? Vanity.
No,
I don't have vanity. I don't give a shit what I look like in your eyes, or mine, or his, or anybody's,
or Santa's,
Santa Claus, for that matter.
But I think you nailed part of what made this bit work so well, which is that people loved you. Like, it was the surprise of that. Because if you think about it, it would be funnier if people wanted to get rid of you and then you came back as the right. Like, that's where the instant humor lies.
That would have been more heelish.
That would have made it much more heelish. But
if I voted off 20-1 and then I come back, people would have been like, "Oh, fuck you! You were supposed to die."
And
I think that was the plan. Honestly.
Oh yeah.
That's
absolutely,
what I'm saying.
To make it even more heel. But part of why I think it worked is Ron says the first thing, because you come in and do you remember what you call yourself?
Boy, I'll tell you, after that thing yesterday, I'm going to just throw this out to him. Face! My heart was a little broke hearing him leave here yesterday, Fez.
Yeah, it was very sad to see him leave. See how upset he was when he was going out the door with all his stuff.
I blame you.
Me? What did I do?
You let the whole thing take place. You let the whole thing go down. All right, we are waiting for our brand new producer. Is he here now?
Yep, he is here. Our new producer is here at the studio.
Do you know where he's from or anything, Fez?
No, I have no idea where he's from.
Got theme music?
Yep. Oh yeah, that's a good producer here.
I gotta run, keep from hiding. I'm bound to keep on riding, and I got one more silver dollar. Catch me, no, I ain't gonna let them catch the midnight rider.
Right. Here he comes in. Who is this, Fez?
This is our new producer to the Ron Fez Show. Ronnie, please welcome, from parts unknown, the Midnight Rider.
Thank you very much, baby. It's great to be here. What are we talking about today? We're talking about producers, Ronnie B.
Yeah, we're talking about
Is
producers.
that what we're talking about, Fez? We talking about for producers.
We are talking about producers.
Let me introduce myself then.
Yeah.
I am a plumber's son. I'm a person of the people, a new producer of purpose. I gotta run to keep from hiding, baby. And my name is the Midnight Rambler.
What is it?
The Midnight Rider. The Midnight Rider.
Oh,
The Midnight
okay.
Rider.
Yes.
I was so scared. I thought it was the Midnight Rambler.
No. My name is the Midnight Rider. Here to quench and give you your dreams, baby.
All right, is there any reason, Fezzy, that the Midnight Rider is wearing a mask?
Well, he's a shy guy.
All right, he's
I'm
wearing
from parts unknown. I'm from... my identity cannot be known.
Yeah.
Ronnie B, don't you understand? It's a delicate situation for the rider.
That XM background check can be pretty thorough.
Yeah.
So this is his way of making sure we can get him right in here, right to work.
I got that mask. I slipped right past that Puerto Rican fella. He said he was a master of something. He said I'm a master Poe or something. I don't know what that is. I'm from, down in the South where people ride.
All right. So you're wearing a bad cowboy hat.
Yes, this is my lucky hat, Betty.
And your yellow luchador mask.
That's right, my wrestling mask.
Yeah.
This guy's great, Ronnie. He is going to be great for the show. Our new producer, the Midnight Rider.
Oh.
I heard the show. I heard the past couple of weeks. There's a lot of people talking about this Downtown Dave or East Side Sam, whatever his name was. And let me tell you something, baby.
Yeah.
He's history. He's history. And just as the sun sets on one producer, the moon rises on another. The moon's glow is me, baby. You're looking at it, the Midnight Rider. I am your moonbeam.
I love this. Finally, a producer with some confidence we've got in here. The Midnight Rider.
That's right.
That's great.
The Midnight Rider, he don't sip champagne. The Midnight Rider don't eat caviar. The Midnight Rider gets nitty and gritty with the common man. I get funky like a monkey, baby. I'll take you to a movie, and afterwards I'll get groovy. That's what the Midnight Rider does, because he's a plumber's son.
See, that was my problem with Dave. He used to sip champagne and eat caviar, and he wouldn't get funky with the common guy.
That's right. There's a new era of Ron and Fez with the Midnight Rider on the team. Can't possibly be beat.
You know what? I kind of miss Dave being here, but I do like the new Midnight Rider, Fez.
I think the Midnight Rider is going to be with us for a long, long time.
And then what's he going to do? He's going to take us to a movie?
I'm going to take you to a movie. I'm going to get you groovy, Daddy. With Ronnie B and Fezzy W by my side, busting it for the little Joe of America. We going to take it downtown all the way. It's what the Midnight Rider do. Going to leave you with gold and sunshine in your hearts. Because that's what the Midnight Rider does so special around here.
Did Dave ever leave us with gold or sunshine in our hearts?
No, he didn't.
No. This guy's great. I'm surprised we were able to catch him. As a producer.
We're never going to catch him. We can't catch the Midnight Rider.
Luckily, I have a laptop on my horse for riding, and I saw a couple postings on the web. New producer needed for the Ron Fez Show. And this producer is someone who breaks it down, Daddy, who ain't afraid to pay his dues to punch and ain't afraid to dance. You says to the Midnight Rider, what's the point of dancing on the radio? We can't see you, Daddy.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you.
True.
How can you dance on the radio? We can't see you, Daddy.
Can I tell you, Ronnie B, you may not be able to see me with your eyes.
Yeah.
But you sure as hellfire can see me with your heart.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I produce for.
Right.
Your heart. I don't know how these other Slim Jims produce. But I know, Daddy, I know Midnight Rider comes in here to produce for your soul.
Thanks, Midnight Rider.
He's going to give us his all, Ronnie.
Yeah.
The Midnight Rider, a new producer on the Ron and Fez Show.
200% sugar.
Does he have any money, Fez?
Do you have any money on you?
I got one more silver dollar, baby.
Oh, I see.
That's what I got. That's what the rider has.
Then you keep it.
So, yeah. He needs this job.
Yeah, he really does.
He's got one more silver dollar.
Yeah.
I'll give it to you if you need. If you want me to be your producer,
right.
Just tell me. If you want me to shimmy over yonder for some water, if you want me to buy a fresh bottle of Febreze, you just tell me. If you want me to pin Dory Funk 2 out of 3 falls, I can do that too.
All right, there he is, Fezzy, our new producer.
We've never had a producer that could pin Dory Funk Jr. in 2 out of 3 falls. I know that. This is great.
I'll mop the floor with Dory. He's not in good condition as me.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, most importantly, it's all about the Ron Fez Show. It's about electrified funk. It's about the new man in town. It's about the Midnight Rider busting at 365. I don't know how these other marshmallows perform, but I know one thing: the Midnight Rider performs with sweat, blood, and tears. Tears for you, Ronnie Big, and tears for you, Fezzy W.
I don't think you're going to be able to sustain this. I really don't. I don't think it's something that you're going to be able to do every day.
Well, he's
Midnight
excited.
Rider.
It's his first day.
Yeah.
He's a little wound up. It's like pandemonium in here.
It's a new... you know what? It's like a pandemonium. You know what else it is?
What?
It's like a new dawn.
Yeah.
In the Grand Canyon, the sun comes up. On the Ron Fez Show, so does the rider. The Midnight Rider, baby.
That is true. In the Grand Canyon, Fezzy, the sun comes up.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
And it does here, too. It's a new dawn.
Right.
Midnight Rider.
The Midnight Rider, our new producer. He's in here. He's in a mask. He's in a cowboy hat.
Now, is he going to stay in the mask, Fez? Why? Is he burn victim?
Oh, no. It's just the guy's just very protective of his identity.
No one can know who he is?
Exactly.
Well, I'll tell you, no one can know. That's why these aren't the clothes that I'm wearing.
Yeah. I like it. These aren't the clothes that you're wearing?
These aren't the clothes that I'm wearing.
Why not?
Because I'm the Midnight Rider, baby. Daddy, do you see the light?
Yeah.
Can you see it shining over?
I can.
I can see the light.
Is it in your toes now?
Kind of.
It's America. It's the Midnight Rider here from the Ron Fez Show.
You know, Fezzy, this might make everybody forget about their love for Eastside Dave.
Yeah, it probably could, I think. The enthusiasm that the Midnight Rider's riding in here with.
Enthusiasms. Enthusiasms.
I don't know who Downtown Dave is, but I know one thing. He's like stale potato chips. Get rid of him. It's a Midnight Rider. It's his era in town.
No.
The Midnight Rambler. Right out the gate.
I
you
fucked
introduce
up.
yourself as the Midnight Rambler. You
That's
try
so
to
funny.
say, the Rider was listening to some Stones, and Ron goes, bullshit. Nobody's listened to that song for 7 years. So then you do call...
First of all, I do. The Midnight Rambler is one of the greatest Rolling Stone songs of all time. But, specifically, Robert, please don't listen to the studio version. Please listen to the version on Get Your Ya-Ya's Out, live in Madison Square Garden from 1969. That's the Midnight Rambler song that you want to, version that you want to be hearing. But of course, this is the Midnight Rider. But you know what?
You did call yourself the Midnight Rambler.
The
maybe?
Midnight Rambler would be a kind of a fun little new character that the Dave Man could...
or maybe the Rider needs a sidekick.
Fucking appropriate, yeah. Oh, I mean, based on that, it was like 2 hours ago, but that one question that you had.
That was, I should have ended
where
the
the whole
podcast
question
there.
was a lead up to what's the meaning of the Liberty Bell? It was like six minutes of fucking prologue to what's the meaning of the Liberty
If you
Bell.
think that's rambling, Dave, I did 15 minutes on stage and got one laugh the other night. I fucking rambled. But you call yourself the Rambler. But I think the other thing that Ron points out right away is he goes, there's no way you're going to be able to stick with this character. I'm going to make you keep on the goofy outfit even when you break.
You're wrong, Ronnie B. I can't say that. You're all wrong, Ronnie B, because I have a commitment to character. I have a commitment to kayfabe. I have a commitment to what's going on, Daddy. I'm not saying I'm the Midnight Rider. This is Eastside Dave's hand. I do a Midnight Rider impression, baby. From the top of the mountain to the bottom of the canyon, you are going to find out what gold looks like, what magic looks like. You are going to find out what unicorns feel like when the Midnight Rider reaches into your heart and into your soul, Daddy. You're going to find out what joy is, because I got one more silver dollar. How about a little applause, applause after I do something like that, like louder, audible applause, like clapping.
I think I'm giving it what it deserves.
I'm miking your hands, and we can't hear your fucking clapping. Oh, Jesus Christ!
You know it's gonna be so loud in the post, right? Because I could hear it in my ear. Anyway, that was very good. One of my favorite things is right out the gate. You identify who's Sapphire.
Sapphire! My sweet, sweet Sapphire, baby!
And again...
Ooh, I love that beautiful ebony skin on my sweet, sweet Sapphire.
Now, right before this, somebody called in and asked if Earl was going to do the year of Extreme. And Earl was like, yeah, absolutely. And then... later on, he bails right away, and you pointed that out. But this is the one time we see Earl get involved. He goes, I'm not going to be Sapphire. 30 seconds later, he's up dancing with you like he's Sapphire. Like, he goes right into the character right away. And he, again, the writer's fucking bringing out the best of everybody around. He's getting Earl involved in the show in a way he wouldn't have been.
So now we're combining, by the way, Dusty Rhodes characters, because the Midnight Rider never worked with Sapphire, but who gives a fuck? Midnight Rider was in NWA. And then, of course, Dusty Rhodes was in WWE when he brought Sapphire out. And it was the funniest fucking thing ever. Every other wrestler got a hot chick valet.
Yep.
Except Dusty Rhodes, who was supposed to be a common man. So he got this lady who, honestly, I'm not trying to be rude, but she looked like Earl Douglas in a wig.
Yeah.
And it was Earl in a wig. I'm sorry. I know.
It may not
I
have
apologize
even been,
right now.
It may not have even been you who combined the characters. It may have been a caller who called in and was like, "Oh, is Earl going to be and you just jumped into it." And again, he's on board.
Because and that's where Fez's documentary really paid off, because it was like a 3-hour fucking documentary on Dusty Rhodes. But because of that, I was familiar with the Sapphire shit in his WWE run. So I was like, oh, fuck yeah. Because Sapphire wore a black outfit with yellow polka dots.
You even said something about getting yellow polka dots. That was one of the crazy polls.
So we just took Post-it notes and slapped yellow.
That's so funny.
We just took yellow Post-it notes, slapped it on Earl,
and he
honestly looked like fucking Sapphire.
That's
if we
incredible.
had a little wig, if we had a little Jerry Curl wig, he would have looked exactly like Sapphire. They would have been twins.
That's incredible.
Yeah. We put Post-its all over him.
That was one. And then the other big pool you had was you were worried that Safi was going to get distracted by the $1 Million Man's rubies, because apparently that was something that happened.
Well, absolutely, baby. Because, Sapphire, you got to watch out for the $1 Million Man, baby. Because the $1 Million Man, and they're also looking for the best friend IRS, Erwin R. Shasta. The two of them, they're looking out. They're trying to get down. They're trying to put their thumb down on the common man, baby. Don't allow the government, daddy. Don't allow the country, baby. Don't allow the authorities. Don't allow the IRS. Don't allow the rich people. Don't allow the diplomats to keep you on the bottom of the line, baby. Because when you're with the Midnight Rider, daddy, and my close friend Sapphire, baby, what you can do is achieve your dreams. And if you keep climbing up that mountain, soon you're going to be in clouds. Because you got one more silver dollar, and you ain't going to let him catch you. No, you ain't going to let him catch the Midnight Rider.
Catch that eagle eye. Watch it fly. I got one more silver dollar.
Who are you?
I'm in the Midnight Rider, Sugar.
Sugar? I'm very uncomfortable with that.
Is that Sapphire in the booth?
That's Black Girl. Oh.
Thought that was my baby Sapphire.
That's
We
not
like to boogie when
Sapphire.
you get funky like a monkey, Sapphire.
We got the Sapphire. Are you going to be able to work with Midnight Rider?
But my name is not Sapphire, for starters, but I can deal with the Midnight Rider. I'll definitely have I'll forge a new relationship with the Midnight Rider. It'll take me a minute to get used to the mask, but I'll work with the Rider.
With the enthusiasm that the Midnight Rider...
Enthusiasms.
with the Midnight Rider coming in here, Earl, you may end up taking a back seat.
The Sapphire, Earl, whatever his name is, he just knows one thing.
Yeah.
Sapphire knows one thing.
Yeah.
How to party with Midnight Rider. I look forward to spending my days and nights, my minutes on the air and off the air with you, Sapphire. My cuddly person, you.
Sapphire, it's really great to see you getting along with somebody after all this time.
My name is not Sapphire. I'm not a middle-aged black woman.
Can we shake it, Sapphire? Can we have the electrified funk in town?
Why don't you and Midnight Rider dance together, Sapphire?
Come on.
That'd be great.
That would be excellent.
And they may, again, not be able to see us in the radio land, but trust me, you can hear us. You can hear Sapphire and I get down. You can hear us work together, move together, groove together. Loins intact, loins close, representing love. But make no mistake about it, Ronnie B. It's not just about Sapphire. It's also about Little Joe. I call him the common man.
Yeah.
American blue collar.
So you're out there for the blue collar people,
I'm out
right
there for the blue collar, the Johnny Lunch pail.
Yeah. You and Sapphire are going to bring something to them, some kind of...
We're going to bring magic.
Yeah.
We're going to bring excitement.
Yeah.
Excitement like you never seen. You saw the roller coaster in Great Adventure with excitement loop-de-loop. Wait till you see me and Sapphire. We'll give you more loops than the big screen machine.
Fez, do you think him and Sapphire are really going to be as big as they say?
Oh, I think so, yeah.
So, Febreze, you dropped the fainting goat name, and you're now Sapphire.
I love you, Sapphire.
We all do, Sapphire. We all love you.
Sweet, sweet Sapphire.
You're the best.
Can I get the Febreze title? I am not Sapphire, a big fat old black woman.
Why are you being negative about this? We're just getting this new thing off the ground. We're just getting away from the sadness of losing Dave. And now, so Sapphire, you finally got somebody to be with.
You don't have to bring the race into it either.
Yeah.
She may be an African-American,
Yeah.
Sapphire, but we do this for the white, we do it for the black, we do it for the purple, we do it for the orange. Basically, what we do it for is three colors, red, white, and the blues.
And the what?
The blue.
Okay.
Red, white, and blue. Three colors that don't run.
Yeah. Never?
No.
Not even when washed?
Well, perhaps.
Then why do you see so many faded flags out there on people's houses and stuff?
Fez gays.
Oh.
Oh, flags,
Flags.
you said.
Flags.
I got you. Well, I like the new guy. I like the new guy a lot.
That's the Midnight Rider. It's our new producer.
You were behind this, Fez?
Oh, yeah, totally. Yeah, Wiki's on board, Elo's on board, and I totally vouch for this guy.
Thank you, Fezzy W. You are my beacon. You are someone who cares for me, and I care for you back. I care for Ron and B, too, and Sapphire.
Well, it takes me a while to get used to new people. I'm just not that way, Fez. I'm not that open to everything.
I think this guy here, the Midnight Rider, he's going to grow on you fast.
Finally, some good applause.
Yeah, I was all over that one. But so that happens. A couple of callers. There's one caller in particular who is furious, like the heel work.
That I'm back.
That dog fucking piece of shit needs to be gone. And Ron just goes, no, you're thinking of Eastside Dave. I get confused too. This is the Midnight Rider. And then just hangs up on the guy. It's very
was the
funny.
guy?
I don't remember the name. A lot of these callers
That's so
just
funny.
pop in and just you really got fired up. But it was good. And then, interestingly enough,
Eastside Dave was gone. It was the rider.
Eastside Dave
so
was
I
out,
don't know what
yeah.
that guy's fucking issue is.
But interestingly enough, Ron starts to tease who will get hypnotized because they've got some hypnotist who comes in, which is a whole nother
Don the hypnotist.
messy
Legend.
subject. Fraud. Anyway.
No, Don the hypnotist is a legend.
Yeah, legendary fraud.
He's a hypnotist. He hypnotized me.
Mm-hmm.
It worked.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it worked on me.
You know what Freud said about hypnotism and
What?
in the Irish mind?
What?
The Irish mind was too dull to be hypnotized. Said the same about therapy. That's why I don't believe in therapy. I'm Irish.
And Italian.
Yeah, no, and I'm never more Catholic
Fucking
than
lie
when
to
my
us.
dick doesn't work. It's God's fault, not yours, babe. Anyway, that seemed like a bit of a tangent. But no, he brings up that and goes, will you get hypnotized? And Fez goes, yeah. He goes, Earl, will you? And Earl goes, no. And the writer goes, now, just a second ago, Safi, you was going to be Mr. Extreme. I'm going to do everything.
Now, hold on, Sapphire. Just a few short moments ago, you were going to agree to anything. You were going to be all team player. You're going to be Mr. I'll do everything. Mr. Yes Man. Mr. I'm going to go with the bit. And now, once again, you are fucking roadblocker into fun, baby. Shame on you, sweet, sweet Sapphire. Ooh, that one got an applause, too. All right.
I love the writer, especially when he's shitting on Safi and trying to bring her out. And honestly, that's a great introduction. At one point, Ron goes, we can't just have the whole day being about the rider. You just got to kind of jump in. And
exactly.
And you go, yeah, Daddy, I'll jump in whenever you need. You give him a good promo, and you agree to get hypnotized. And that's where we're going to leave this episode of The Midnight Rider.
Excellent.
Because we are going to return shortly with the very hypnotism episode, which honestly may be, and I don't mean to overstep my bounds here, but may be the finest 3 hours of radio.
Well, what I'm going to say is, though, we're going to continue with Rider.
Yeah.
Don't forget.
The Rider episode, but where he gets hypnotized, because that is the next major event for the Rider.
So
in the
Don
timeline.
the Hypnotist was, I actually liked Don a lot. I always found him to be a really personable, great guy. The hypnotism works on me. Now listen, I know little fucking skeptical, cynical bitches like yourself say that hypnotism doesn't work. They say it only works if you have an extremely creative mind, which is why it worked on me and Fez. It doesn't work on you.
Now, when they say creative, do they like have a smile and wink, like a tongue-in-cheek, like creative mind?
But what I'll also say is, Don the Hypnotist, for whatever reason, his hypnotist sessions always seem to bring out controversy. So I'm really excited to see where this goes. But this was fantastic. Listen,
we're not quite done yet. I do have a couple of Rider-specific questions about the character before we get out of here, but I just did want to give that preview of where we were headed. So
all right.
We got about 2-3 more minutes. Just
I just want to say that this is the prelude. And then we're going to continue going strong with this momentum with lots of Midnight Rider in the next episode in 2 weeks. But go ahead, Robert. I'm sorry. That was your little...
Yeah.
What is this? This is your love mic?
No, don't worry about it. Just
What is this
my
thing,
very
Rob?
expensive equipment that you want to throw. You know.
What is it?
That's a windscreen for the lav mic.
Okay.
But we're probably going to use the handheld mic for this time. Anyway. So the Rider character, you said, obviously Fez was the Dusty Rhodes fan.
Yeah, he was the one who lent me the discs.
I am going to pull back the curtain a little bit further to something you revealed to me once, which is, who was the originally supposed to play the Midnight Rider character? Was it you or was it someone else? Because one time we were having a few beers and you said that the character was actually developed for Fez, and then you were the one who was able to pull it off. Is that true?
There's some truth to that, perhaps. I have to think about that. You said we were having some beers.
And it may not have been, that may have been me having a few beers, and that's how I took it. It may have been that Fez was the one who really worked the character behind the scenes, because there's a ton of writing involved. We know you're an incredible writer, but so is Fez.
Yeah, I
We
mean,
talked
that's
about
what
Mr.
I'd have to
Watley's
think
lists.
about. I don't necessarily think... it could have been.
You know what?
It could have been, because here's the deal. Even though we were in totally separate like head spaces and this and that, we were in some similar categories in terms of, if what you're saying is true, that Fez, the anxiety may have started out right now. Meanwhile, I'm a fucking heel.
Yeah.
I could absolutely envision Ron setting that up for both of us. I could absolutely envision. In fact, I could absolutely envision Ron setting up for Fez.
But
then again, I was getting some heel heat, so I could see Ron saying that to me.
And the context that this came out was that your impression actually drove Fez nuts. That your Dusty Rhodes he did not like, and he thought he could do it better. And that's where the conversation led into that.
Yeah.
So he did not like how you were portraying it.
That's true. Yeah, he thought I was a bad Dusty Rhodes. But I said I'm not doing Dusty Rhodes. I said I'm doing the Midnight Rider. It's all
which is a
Rider,
great
Daddy.
way to get out of things.
Yeah,
I love doing that.
I
I'm
mean,
doing a
there's some
character on a
truth to
character.
that, too.
Yeah, and you
The
definitely...
Rider was more mountains and fucking canyons and nature and inspiring shit and stuff.
He was very lisp heavy.
Well, no, Dusty Rhodes is lisp heavy.
Oh, I
That's
didn't
the
know
funny
that.
part.
Oh, that was the
Yeah, like
that
he
was
didn't
the one
change
part. Oh,
his
okay.
fucking the way he talked at all. But the things he said were, I thought, a little bit different than how Dusty said it.
Yeah.
And I had to come up. By the way, I had to write my own shit just
So
in case
that was the next question. Was I know you wrote most of it. Like,
all of it. No,
did
not
Fez
most.
ever help you cut promos or anything?
When you are signed for a bit, or you want to do a bit, you're in charge of doing your bit. No one helps you. When Fez wrote a Fez tutorial, 100% wrote it for himself. When I did Board Gossip, Guy Geyerson, fucking Mike Francesa, Richard Dreyfuss, or Midnight Rider, I wrote it all myself.
Which might have been a sign that it was a work from the start, because why Fez is mad at you from the beginning of this is he tried to help you with Board Gossip, and you didn't like his help. So that might have been a sign as well.
There you go.
That it was a work the whole time. So
See?
it was all you.
See?
Now, part of the reason
See
why,
all the clues?
why I have a hard time understanding is the team you now surround yourself with, you don't necessarily have the same amount of trust in just throwing the ball and being like, this is your bit, because you aren't surrounded by guys like you, willing to just pick
Oh
up
no,
the ball and run with it.
that's total bullshit.
So that was a compliment.
But well, no. I mean, it doesn't seem like a compliment. It seems like I'm a non-trusting,
Oh no. I just meant like for me, for instance.
Yeah.
If you go, I have a great bit. I'm going to need more guidance than just you trusting me.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
out the gate because I'm not good at it.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
Oh,
It's
you
that
did the other night. No, I'm just kidding.
Jared, you have great ideas, but you tend to go off in insane directions. Really, really, really insane directions. Even our phone call between the second commercial break, we actually called Jared
to confirm,
and even that was fucking haywire. And all three of us were about to get into a fight somehow, even though we're having a great episode, having a great time.
Yeah.
There was a disagreement about what we should be doing next week on Tales from the Satellite. By the way, I made the call. Next week, we're continuing the Rider Saga. Doesn't that make sense? Yes, it does. You'll all be thanking me. Jared didn't want that. Jared wanted a different episode. Jared wanted something totally different. Maybe Robert agreed with him. I'm not sure.
I was just kind of neutral. I just wanted to point out that I was told one plan. That's all I wanted to that's why the phone call happened. Is I was cool with whatever. I just wanted it to be known that I was following the plan I was told.
Good. All right. So Jared's the fuck
I'm
up.
just a soldier. Kind of like those Nazis, just following orders. Anyway, don't blame me for what happens. That's all I'm fucking saying.
Don't blame Bobby for anything that happens with Jedi Jared. And I love Jedi Jared so much. Jared Fishman, the white Jared, the cream pie Jones. He's been so spectacular for so many years. But the problem is every once in a while, Jedi Jared gets his hand stuck right up a cattle's ass.
An Ewok's ass.
No, a head right up a cattle's ass. A cattle is a plural word for cow, Robert.
A Jawa's
He
ass.
gets a head stuck right up a cattle's ass, and Jared, you gotta focus, Daddy.
He's gonna be so mad when he sees this episode.
He's gonna hate it. No, he's gonna love this episode.
No, he's gonna love the episode.
He's actually got thicker skin than you realize.
One last question about the Rider before we get out of here.
I wanted a goddamn chip, but fine. I thought that was it.
How long? Now, a lot of the bits we see you get yourself into, you don't necessarily have an end.
This one
or
had no
an out.
end.
So when you first stepped into the role of the Rider character, how long did you foresee yourself being the Rider?
Should I talk about the all the stuff they did with Subway on the subway and shit like this with O&A and stuff here, or next episode?
Next episode, we should
Okay.
talk about that. This is just more like how
All right.
long did you think you were going to be in this particular?
Honestly, Robert, this is the thing about me. I don't think.
That is true. You are the best at just reacting.
But I would say I had a vision of 2 weeks.
Okay. Because it was quite longer.
How? Yeah, I mean, it was
so
3 months
at least. What's tough with the Rider is
every day, though. Every day,
And that's
I'm
what I
a
was gonna say.
fucking luchador cowboy. If I was the Midnight Rider, I'm a luchador cowboy. Every day for 3 months.
Just doing your job, though. So there are a lot of episodes
Yeah.
where the Rider just talks and it's not relevant to the Rider's character arc, but he's just a character on the show.
Yeah.
Like,
then I had
truly-
to work as Eastside Dave
in the evening
as Midnight Rider.
And without giving too much away, one of my favorite things that happens during this whole hypnotist episode we're going to talk about next time is those two meet.
That's one of the most insane things I've ever been a part of. When I see those clips of being hypnotized by Don the Hypnotist as the Midnight Rider,
it's fucking
it's
nuts.
beyond fucking weird for me. I know people have their doubts about hypnotism, but again, as you know, we were explained, me and Fez could get hypnotized because we're creative, and you can just allow yourself to go away.
Did they say
And
creative?
I'm telling you, I don't. I have, if not full on blackouts during all of these hypnotism sessions, straight up brownouts, where time is missing. And I still can't believe that I was hypnotized as the Midnight Rider, because when I watch some of those clips, I'm like, that's not me.
That's crazy.
Like, I don't know who this person is. Maybe that is the Midnight Rider.
You never know.
Maybe that's not me after all.
Now, just one question about hypnotism. I know we're going to talk about. Did they say creative or did they say artistic? And is it perhaps is it possible they mispronounced the art
He's making fun of me, and he's saying autistic. That's what he's saying, me and Fez. That was his joke. Was that your joke at us?
Only someone who suffered from that would need me to explain that was a joke. We're going to get out of here. This has been a great first prelude to the Midnight Rider Slate introduction. Mainly the backstory to go forward.
Because you can't get into something this epic with the Midnight Rider and just fucking, hit the goddamn play button. There has to be a little bit of a backstory. If there wasn't, it would render it, I think,
kind of silly.
Less important.
Yeah, you wouldn't understand the whole context.
So I'm thankful for this episode. I think this was a phenomenal episode, dare I say. But I'm excited to see what's going to happen next episode with some of this Midnight Rider hypnotism stuff. I'm really excited.
And me too. A lot of people say, myself included, this was the greatest moment in radio. But it's far from the only thing you've done since then. So let's talk about what you're doing now. You got the #1 morning rock show on the Jersey Shore.
The East Side Empire's never been stronger. Davey Mac Sports Program. We need you to watch it on YouTube TV or YouTube East Side Dave TV and subscribe. iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, wherever you get your podcast, it's there. All of this shit is always available at eastsidedavecountry.com. The other thing is Yaddle Shadow. Fastest rising Star Wars podcast in America.
The world.
It's the show that I do with me and Jedi Jared Fishman, Cream Pie Jones, and we do it, and it's fantastic. The Eastside Davidson Wrestling Show, now syndicated into 80 radio stations.
Holy cow.
The podcast I do with my son, we've been doing for 8 years, is now nationally syndicated in 80 markets, and we're thankful for that. So make sure you tune into that. You can get that wherever you get your podcasts. Tales from the Satellite. Patreon exclusive. We release it a month and a half after it premieres on Patreon. But the reason why you get Patreon is, A, you get this show a month and a half before everyone else. B, exclusive shows like Driving with the Boys with me, Big A, and Bobo, driving in a car, shooting the shit. It's fucking hysterical. We've done 5 of those. And all kinds of other exclusive shit. Early access to DMSP, Davey Mac Sports Program, Yal Chettle, and all kinds of stuff. But, and of course, if you're in New Jersey, I'm the #1 morning guy in the state of New Jersey. 95.9 The Rat, the morning rat race. We have listenership of 1.7 million people between Monmouth and Ocean County.
It's pretty incredible. And is that like a new thing, or have you been doing that for a while?
I've been doing that for 10 years. I've gotten the last 33 ratings books in a row. 33. #1. How much more success can a fucking person have in radio, podcasting, and broadcasting in general? I have it all.
Well, we know the next thing we're trying to conquer, and that's the #1 podcast that gets people to buy Silk City Hot Sauce using the promo code RIDER. So let's do that. Let's make sure we're doing that.
Thank you to Silk City Hot Sauce.
Thank
for
you,
real.
Jeff. You're
we
the best.
appreciate your support, and we appreciate you being a new sponsor. And I'm going to tell you, Silk City Hot Sauce, I'm going to be putting you on all the goddamn popcorn, microwave popcorn for every movie henceforth. God bless you.
And make sure you check out all of Dave's stuff. If you ever want to see me do comedy, check out the Davey Mac Sports Program. That's where you get the latest plugs from me. I'm not going to put it here because it's evergreen.
Why don't you plug a show maybe in December?
Okay. December 1st, I am at the Laughingstock Comedy Club in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I am headlining the show. It's
headlining
my home club, so please come out. I have talked so much
What's
shit.
the name of the club?
The Laughingstock Comedy Club. You don't know how much shit I talked to be able to get the headline this show. Now I have to be able to back it up.
Come on,
please
folks.
come out. It'll be me.
Bobby Tamburo.
It'll be Jeff is hosting. Jeff, and then
Does Jeff
Ron
have
King.
a last name? I mean, what the fuck?
Jeffrey Paul.
All
will
right,
be
Jeffrey
hosting.
Paul's going to
He
be
owns
there.
the club.
Very funny guy.
Ron Kane's featuring, and most importantly, coming with me to do a guest spot. The only way I put my foot down about the show, I didn't do that about payment or anything, was give me a guest spot so I could bring Sabrina Piper to come do a guest spot. You may know her as Funny Girl with Tits on Instagram and Twitter, so come check her out.
That's an offensive
No,
name.
that's her handle. She chose it.
Okay.
On that
You're
note,
not calling her that, right? Because,
No,
we
that's-
have lots of salty language here, but we ain't sexist,
No,
man.
no, never. My handle.
What's her handle?
Funny Girl with Tits.
That's it.
That's her handle.
The rider's offended, baby.
Can the rider give
the
me-
midnight rider's offended by that goddamn handle, Salty Piper.
Before we get out of here,
yes, sir.
The last thing I'm going to ask is the world and myself seem to be in a bit of a chaotic place.
Very sad. What's going on today?
You know, everything. I was hoping maybe, and this might be too big of an ask, but could the writer perhaps give myself and maybe the world a pep talk on the way out of here?
Yeah. Yeah, I could. You got any music for me?
I'll put it in post.
Oh, you'll put it in post?
Yeah, what song you want?
All right. The fucking Midnight Riders.
You got keep on riding.
Let me tell you something, Daddy. Lots of things are going on in the world today, baby. You got inflation going on. No one can buy a banana for less than $17. That's not what a working man is here for. Working man goes to the job, works from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. He gets his whole entire paycheck. His paycheck is $17. He takes it. He gets one sandwich at Wendy's, and that's it. Man's working for 12 hours for a Wendy's hamburger. That's the type of economic crisis we live in. But here's the thing, baby. Midnight Rider can tell you what's the truth. And the truth is sticking together, being with people, bonding with people, making friendships, making alliances, being there for one another, supporting one another. And if that don't work, we all combine and chop the heads off everyone in Washington, D.C. I'm the Midnight Rider, and I got one more silver dollar, and they ain't gonna let them catch me, no. They ain't gonna let them catch the Midnight Rider.
And thank you so much, radio fans. We'll catch you next time on Davey Mac's Tales from the Satellite.